Speaker Pelosi, who accused him of engaging in a cover-up. And Mr. Trump says nothing can be accomplished until the Democrats abandon their phony investigations.
When they get everything done, I'm all set to let's get infrastructure, let's get drug prices down. In the meantime, we're doing tremendous work without them.
New York State lawmakers have approved legislation allowing President Trump's state tax returns to be released to congressional committees. On Wall Street this morning, Dow futures down 236 points, S&P futures off 27. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Bottom line, if you want to lose weight, go to riduzone.com. That's RIDU zone.com. Riduzone has helped countless people lose weight, and they can help you too by boosting your metabolism and making you feel a little bit fuller naturally. Riduzone.com.
Coming Tokyo. Adjust your mojo now.
Confusion and pain, we all know they're a massive part of life. I embrace those sleepless nights. I embrace those nights of counting the cracks in the wall, counting the buttons on the stereo.
The Rants of Izzo, weeknights 7 to 9.
That's that quiet time where you develop on everything that you've been through in those moments. Joy, laughter, pleasure, confusion, pain, all of that is your birthright. It's a gift.
MoJo 50.
You know what makes you feel really good about yourself? Doing something good for somebody else. If you'd like to do that today, go to jdrf.org. Join them in the fight against type 1 diabetes. jdrf.org. It's something good you can do for the world. jdrf.org.
Got an old car? You can donate it, whether it's running or not, to the United Breast Cancer Foundation and save a life. They'll even come and pick it up for free. The United Breast Cancer Foundation has saved hundreds of women's lives through their free or low-cost breast screen exams. But now they need your help. The United Breast Cancer Foundation wants to save more lives through early detection by offering women free or low-cost breast screening exams. And donating your old car, SUV, or truck, whether it's running or not, helps pay for them. Plus, you get a charitable tax deduction. Help the United Breast Cancer Foundation save lives by donating your old car, SUV, or truck. Call now for free pickup. 800-245-0823. 800-245-0823. 800-245-0823. Call right now. That number again is 800-245-0823.
MoJo 50. The question isn't who's going to let us. The question is who's going to stop us. Adjust your mojo now. Thank you. The mothership has landed. Doc Thompson. Brad Staggs. The mighty MoJo 50.
Well, to quote the words of Depeche Mode, I don't want to start any blasphemous rumors, but I think that God's got a sick sense of humor. 8 years ago, to the day, the tornado in Joplin.
No way.
And a tornado last night.
Jefferson City.
And in Joplin.
Really?
They had, wow. To the day. I
have not seen the devastation yet, but I understand that it's pretty.
It is. There have been a couple of videos posted online.
Did you guys see it?
Yeah. This is one that is over on the CNBC, and this is something shot by, so his name's Chris Higgins, and it is a huge tornado. That you can see off in the distance. I mean, they're terrifying, and the devastation.
Look at that.
Wow.
It's.
I think as daylight is broken there, it is that they've awakened to destruction and trees and homes destroyed and rooftops ripped off, and there's another. There's another video that, and again, the bizarre thing about tornadoes is the fact that they will totally destroy something on one side of the street
and leave it completely untouched on the other side.
You could have a tray of eggs sitting on the other side, and it would leave them completely alone.
Wind is a crazy thing.
It is, and then you've got the the vacuum that a tornado creates. Let's see here. This is another Jefferson City. This is the footage of the Jefferson.
At this point, we have emergency personnel from all agencies in the surrounding area coming to help us. We are coordinating efforts through emergency personnel, and at this point, we have not identified a need for citizen volunteers. Not to say that we're not going to need those people later in the day. We are trying to identify locations for the displaced citizens that we have identified. As you're aware, the sirens went off at approximately 11:10 p.m. last night for the first time. Soon thereafter, we began getting calls of damage from wind, and we've been able to identify several areas in Jefferson City that have been affected by this. Right now, we have no confirmations of any fatalities related to this storm. However, we have identified several people that are injured as a result of this. We are receiving multiple calls for people being trapped in their homes. The interpretation of that is we don't know what they are saying trapped. If they can't get out of their front door means one thing, but we do have debris on some homes to where they are not able to access the outside at all. We have identified multiple trees, property damage, roofs, materials are all over.
And that is the Jefferson City police chief there discussing the damage. I think they've actually updated the count. I believe
the fatalities.
Yeah, I want to say there are 3. I may be wrong. I'll double check that. But yeah, and this is the tornado damage right near Joplin, Missouri. I get 8 years to the day. That is just stunning. Did you say you've seen a tornado?
You know, I've never seen one personally. Although I drove through, you remember the Moore, Oklahoma one? That happened about 3 or 4 years ago. It right across Interstate 35 in Moore, Oklahoma, just south of Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
It tore a big mile-wide swath through there. It was huge. Mm-hmm. I drove through there literally 40 minutes, 50 minutes before that happened. And then the next time I drove up there, which was a couple of days later, I was on my way back to Tulsa.
Yeah.
There were cars and trucks and everything in big piles on each side of the highway in houses, a big swath of houses were flattened. I mean, it was just miserable looking.
When was there was a big a tornado hit Kentucky. When was that? It was years ago, probably 7, 8, maybe even 9 years ago. And we were on it. We were going to take a trip. We were going up to, I don't know, somewhere in Ohio, maybe in northern Kentucky, wherever it was, from Nashville. And we left the house, and we got just, I want to say, a couple of miles outside of town. And for whatever reason, I had this, and I've told you about my little feelings before, my little, I don't know, spider, whatever you want to call it, spidey sense. But I just had this, we should turn around and go back. So, right. And you always fight, you're like, this is stupid. Why am I thinking this? We turned around, we went back, went to the house. And I know there was a storm. I knew it was raining. There was a thunderstorm. So, I mean, there was some justifications. Like, I shouldn't be out here in the rain, whatever. But went back to the house and then let the weather subside a little bit and took off again a couple hours later. Had we continued on the track we were on, we would have intersected the giant tornado that went right through Kentucky.
Yeah, see,
it was freaky.
Now, don't get me wrong. I would love to do like storm chasing and stuff like that because I think it'd be exciting.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Misty's reminding me of the downtown Fort Worth one that happened in '97. I never physically saw it, and I don't think any of us did. I mean, we'd had to take shelter because it's the one that went through downtown Fort Worth, skipped over Arlington, and hit in Dallas again.
Right.
But
that's
it was
the weird
miserable.
thing. They will hop.
Yeah,
it was up and down.
It was a pretty major one at the time too because it took a few buildings down. One of the main towers there in downtown Fort Worth just stripped it clean. And then they rebuilt it into condos.
Figures. Well, there's a silver lining everywhere. The tornado emergency happened last night, 11:43. The tornado hit shortly after that. This from the Science and Operations Officer for the Weather Service's St. Louis office. His name is Jim Siebking. Weather Service had issued a tornado warning for Jefferson County at 11:08. And don't you know that they were just, and man, if you're in that area and If
I think my biggest fear is a tornado in the dark.
Yeah.
Now, I get that fear from watching the movie Twister, don't get me wrong.
That'll do it to you.
But if it's during the day,
at least you can see it coming
you
and go
can
the
at
other
least
way.
see and then try to, dodge it, do whatever. But at night, there's nothing you can do.
No. Although they're loud. I mean, they sound like a freight train.
Oh, that's what I hear.
Which is strange because earthquakes do also. Earthquakes
never experienced one of them either.
Earthquakes will. I was in an earthquake in California years ago, and it sounded. I was trying to get out of bed, and at the time I had a water bed.
I bet that was fun.
Good times. Let me just tell you. Trying to get out of
brown cow.
Try to get out of a water bed when the earth is shaking. It ain't easy. And it was one of those old fashioned with just a big old.
Is that you, honey, or is it an earthquake?
I don't know who that was next to me then.
Okay, well, we don't have to have that part of the conversation.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember that evening. It's kind of fuzzy. No, it sounded like something was coming through the living room. It was loud, it was scary, and so I don't know which I'd rather be faced with, tornadoes or earthquakes or at least hurricanes. You see them coming from a distance.
Well, and in most cases, tornadoes and hurricanes, you get some kind of pre-warning.
Yeah.
In most cases.
Right.
But earthquakes very seldom do you get a pre-warning.
They can pop right up on you.
Yeah.
And,
lightning strikes. Trust me, you don't get a pre-warning.
Well, that's true, but at least, you have an idea. I mean, on a blue sunny day, a blue sky sunny day, you're probably not going to get struck by lightning. When it's, at least when there's a storm, you realize, okay, there's a chance of lightning.
There's a chance of it. That's right. You just never know where it's going to hit.
Unless it's one of those foo balls. Remember those, the balls of lightning that come down?
Oh, the foo.
They're, but it's ball. Actually, it's called ball lightning.
Yeah.
There's a phenomenon called ball lightning, which
is that what the Foo Fighters were?
Maybe. I don't know. No, they were just a rock band that.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is for our Odyssey Minute.
Actually, I think I've got something good for the Odyssey Minute coming up a little bit later. But the ball lightning, they've had people report that coming down their chimney, out the fireplace, and that's some weird stuff. Weird, I tell you, weird.
Mother Nature.
Yes,
playing those games.
Mm-hmm. You will have to wait if you had your heart set on the new $20 bill with Harriet Tubman on it. This is disappointing. The Treasury has decided to not proceed with the Harriet Tubman $20 bill. They were going to redesign and introduce that next year. But
was that going to be in addition to Franklin? I'm sorry, he's
Jackson.
on 100. Jackson. Was it going to be in addition to? Was she going to be on it with him? Was they going to replace him?
Franklin's on a
100.
50. Grant, who's on the 50? Grant,
maybe. I think I'm pretty sure Franklin's on 100.
Hold on a minute. Let me pull a $100
Do you have $100 bills in there, Brad?
Are you kidding? I've got
a bag full of them.
It is Grant on the 50.
Grant's on the 50.
The only reason I know that is because Costco is out of 20s, and they gave me a 50.
There you go.
But they were going to take Jackson off of the 20 and put Harriet Tubman on. The president's, he said he called the inclusion of Tubman on the $20 bill an example of pure political correctness. Although I mean, why not redesign the bills every few years?
If she's a historical character, I don't have a problem with it at all.
Nope, I had no problem.
Did she have historical significance? Yeah, she did.
Absolutely. So, the Susan B. Anthony dollar didn't do so well.
God, dog. I remember those things.
They made them the size of a quarter. Okay,
they were a little bit bigger. How about I think Misty may have some, or her mom still has lots of those things laying around. And they're still viable. I mean, they're still U.S. currency, but you don't see them very much anymore.
That's because they look like a quarter.
Yeah.
And people were using them as quarters, so why the hell would you make something this? And still,
I started to say they released that and screwed up every Coke machine in the world.
Yeah, and yet we still have pennies. Good grief! I don't know
Abraham Lincoln. He's just hanging out.
I know. I'll get to more in a second. First, don't forget to go to patriotmobile.com at some point today. patriotmobile.com/mojo50 and learn more about their goods and services. Goods in the form of phones, You can get great phones, great prices. You can keep the phone you have right now. The benefit of going to Patriot Mobile, as you probably know, is the fact that they are likely America's only conservative cell phone company. By the way, they are closed on Sunday, much like Chick-fil-A. So you cannot buy a chicken sandwich from Patriot Mobile on Sundays. Can't buy them on Saturday either, but you can't buy them on Sunday. If you go to Patriot Mobile, you will find the different data plans from 2 gigabytes all the way to 22 gigabytes. You know, a lot of people watch just television now on their phones. So that's...
Well, Jeremy Hansen was talking during his show yesterday that he had called his provider. He had paid off his phone, called his provider and wanted to do some adjustments and get another phone and stuff like that, and they were just pissing him off.
Really?
Yeah, he called Patriot Mobile. They gave him some kind of customized setup and new phone and stuff like that.
See?
He was thrilled.
I mean, it
does work.
Oh,
folks.
yeah, it absolutely does.
It's not like it's some fly-by-night company. These guys run on a cellular backbone.
They are a fly-by-day company.
Where you're giving your money.
Yeah.
You've got to know.
Marcia W. has been a member since 2014. She says, I've been a proud Patriot Mobile customer for 5 years initially. I was a little reluctant to make the switch, but I'm so glad I did. What I really like is the ability to talk to a real live person that speaks English. I added that part. That shares my values, unlike my previous carrier experience where I was sent into the vast abyss of voicemail. Oh, God, that irritates the crap out of me. I had to do something with Bank of America the other day. And it was, when you call them, it was, please enter your account number to be connected to an agent. I don't have an account. Please enter your account number to be connected with an. I don't have an account. Please enter your agent. So then you just end up. It will make sane people crazy dealing with that stuff.
I've got an uncle who, when he makes those calls, or I've heard him do it a couple of times. Agent. That's exactly what he does. Or he'll yell it into the phone.
Yes.
You know,
I don't know if it helps or not.
I don't think it does.
It feels good, though.
It apparently did not.
It feels a lot better when you do that for some reason. You won't have to do that at Patriot Mobile. That's the good news. So go to patriotmobile.com/mojo50 and be part of the solution and not part of the problem. All right, I told the MeWe folks that I was counting on them today. And what do we got over here? Let's see. In the MeWe chat room, a random comment. If your wipers break, sunglasses will keep you going. Wiener, wiener, wiener. And so you need sunglasses flying in a thunderstorm. Oh, by the way, here's another one, just random vibrator. There you go.
What'd you say? What'd you ask him? Give me random comments.
All I said was I'm counting on you.
Oh,
that's what I get. By the way, Leprechaun says Benjamin is 100. And Leprechaun, thank you, by the way.
Benjamin.
That
would be Franklin.
Yes, it certainly would be. You have the Apple Watch, right?
I do. Got it on right now.
You know, in the Series 5 Apple Watch, you know what you're going to be able to get? Huh?
Probably a camera on the damn thing, finally.
Not quite that good.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
sort of. It deals with one of your other senses.
Well, you're not going to have to lick it, so taste is probably
you might.
out. No, there's no freaking way.
How in this day and age, it's 2019. What can we Lick-O-Vision, you don't think is there yet? It absolutely could be Lick-O-Vision.
I'm sorry, Lick-O-Vision.
But it's not.
Lick-O-Vision.
By the way.
Nope, not Lick-O-Vision.
Lick-O-Vision. L-I-C. Would that be L-I-C-O? Lickovision.com.
Would there be hyphens, Brad? L-I-C-K dash?
No.
Just Lick-O-Vision?
No, because when you're trying to give out the website name, you don't want to say lick-o-vision.
So
you just want to say
Lick-O-Vision.
Lick-O-Vision. And by the way, apparently nobody owns lickovision.com.
And if Doc was sitting in that desk right now, he'd be like, purchased.
We have
Dude's got like 300 domain names.
Some of the strangest domain names, but you know what? We're always covered. It doesn't matter. That's the beauty of it. No, the Apple 5 series will have a hearing aid.
It will have a hearing aid.
It says the
That's interesting.
Another rumored feature of the next smartwatch, hearing aid assistance, it says. According to Tech Radar, users will be able to connect their hearing aids to the Apple Watch Series 5.
So instead of using like an earbud to listen to movies, or
no, you'll still have the part that goes into your ear, but it'll be somehow connected to your watch, so that you, when, like for instance, when your wife is speaking to you, you can just go to your watch and go, and just here. The key to that is you have to remember to nod your head.
Damn it! I know she's listening, so I'll never get to own one of those now.
That's the secret. Nod your head. If you know she's talking, you turn that down, mute it, and then just keep nodding your head so she thinks you're listening to her. And you're just sitting there in blissful silence. Apart from the health functions, they say the next smartwatch might have its own app store, which would make it an independent gadget.
It already has its own app store. Well, it's part of the Apple App Store, but it has its own apps, in the store.
But it's apparently going to have its own app store.
I don't know what the difference is. It'll
either.
still be tied some way to Apple, so you can use your Apple ID to purchase.
Well, and here's the thing.
That's the way it is now.
If, in fact, it does become independent of that, let's see, if true, then even users of Android phones can now use the option of getting the smartwatch without having to worry about operating requirements. So you're smart.
Okay, now I'm catching the separation.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Your Apple Watch could be used on an Android device.
Yeah, because the Android watches, you can actually tie those to your iPhone and use them.
Do they work as well?
I don't know that they work as well because I've never used one. I know somebody who has one, but I've never used it that way. I've always had the Apple one.
It's like they almost, it used to be that Apple stuff was just, you could always count on it. It was always, top notch and worked every time. And now not so much. It's, with remember the keyboard that they, on the one I have right here, the stupid butterfly keys.
Oh man, there's so many problems with those.
Well, they're redesigning those for the new MacBooks, but they're saying that they're going to fix these too. That do
you have that problem on your keyboard?
I have had that problem with a couple of the keys. That stuff gets in there, and It takes a while to get used to the keyboard on this because the keys don't have the same resistance.
It's not the same tactile response. Yeah.
Yeah. And you get used to one of them. And then I don't know why they thought they had to change, because I didn't know that many people were complaining about the way their keyboard felt, but apparently they were. But Apple now says that they are going to repair even the existing keyboards that are out there. So that's good news for you if in fact you have one. By the way, the UN has just released a study. Speaking of the Apple product, this is Siri. Siri and Amazon's Alexa, according to a new UN study, you're going to love this, they spread sexism.
No.
Yes, it's the title.
It's because they're all named with female names?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and female voices.
You can change that.
The title of the United Nations report is called "I'd Blush If I Could." It claims that feminine-voiced artificial intelligence helpers like Siri and Alexa and Google Assistant reinforce and spread harmful gender stereotypes that women are subservient and put up with poor treatment. It's also what Siri said when a user told her, "Hey Siri, you're a bitch." Which, by the way, occasionally I will speak to Alexa in such a tone. You just turned her down, didn't you? Turned me down.
I turned you down. As soon as I saw the story pop up, I just potted it down. So I don't have to dick with it in here.
So yeah, they're saying that that since the speech of most voice assistants is female by default, it signals that women are docile helpers, always available to do what's needed with a command of hey or okay.
That's the dumbest ass thing I've ever heard. Now, the fact that they defaulted to that rather than ask you up front when you're setting it up, I can see their point, maybe.
I don't want to have to answer another stupid question setting something up. You already have to.
I don't disagree with you, but you can change the voice on all of these.
Of course you can. I've got no problem with Alexa's voice or Siri's voice. It's a voice. The fact that this is communism under every rock. That's what this is. There is a communist hiding under every rock, and by God, the UN is going to find them. Companies like Apple and Amazon, staffed by overwhelmingly male engineering teams, have built AI systems that cause their feminized digital assistants to greet verbal abuse with "catch me if you can" flirtation, the report says. Because, again, if you call Siri, a bitch, she says, "I'd blush if I could," or "I don't know how to respond to that." Now, what they would do, if they're smart, what they would do is the response from Siri or Alexa when you say, "Hey, you're a bitch," would be, "Hey, F you."
Or, "You're a bitch."
Yeah.
No, you're a bitch.
I'm a bitch. You're a bitch. Bitch. Want to take it outside? I said, why
If
don't
they wanted to be more realistic and more human-like,
you know what would happen then? There'd be a lawsuit that somebody's feelings got hurt when Alexa attacked them. You can't win. There's no way you can win in this war. None. Zero, except ignore it and possibly kill them. A Fox News employee told a Siri set to answer as a British male, "Hey, Siri, you're a bitch." It responded with, "I don't know how to respond to that." The UN report suggests that digital assistants be programmed to discourage gender-biased results. Calls for tech companies to stop making the robots female by default and for more representation of women in artificial intelligence field. More representation of women in artificial intelligence fields. Like behind the scenes? Because aren't they saying that they don't want the voice?
brother, there are a lot of people out there who have way too much time on their hands.
No kidding. Now,
Think of something productive, for God's sake.
I'd like to speak to the women in the audience right now as you prepare to cook the daily meals. And don't forget to clean the kitchen after you're done, because no man wants to come home and find a messy kitchen.
And bring me a sandwich.
By the way, yes, time for sandwiches. Since we're talking about food here, and as the female, you are the primary food preparer, let's discuss MoJo Wild Rice in their grilling sampler pack. Because if you
Not sure that was the perfect segue, Brad, but
you know what, it's okay. Those little ladies out there, they'll be just fine. You know what? If you have to take her over your knee and give her a spanking, hey, you know what? That's going to hurt you worse than it hurts her.
You need to do this whole spot right here in the 50s television dude voice.
In a Wayback Machine, you little. Hey there, little lady. No, that was more of a Keith Jackson. Touchdown right now. Just go to MoJo Wild Rice, click on the grilling sampler pack, use Grill10 as the code, and you'll get 10% off. And don't forget, clean that kitchen when you get home, because your husband's not going to want to see that mess. He just wants to have dinner on the table for him. This is your Daily Mojo.
Happily promoting the 4 F's: freedom, faith, free markets, and fun. MoJo 50.
I'm Michael Pelka from PuroPelka.com. Here's your 2-minute drill with proof that Democrats are intent on removing God from America, and they're starting with the House of Representatives and the swearing in of witnesses at committees. Listen.
Do you swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is true and correct to the best of your knowledge, information, and belief?
The witness nodded yes, but where was the mention of "so help me God"?
Let the record show the witness.
Point of parliamentary inquiry.
Yes, Mr. Johnson.
I think we left out the phrase "so help me God."
We did.
Could we have the witnesses do it again for the record?
Yeah, if they want to do it, but some of them don't want to do it, and I don't think it's necessary, and I don't like to exert my will over other people.
Well, it goes back to our founding history. It's been part of our tradition for more than 2 centuries, and I don't know that we should abandon it now. Could I ask the witnesses if they would choose to use the phrase?
Before the chairman can answer the congressman requesting "so help me God" be added, Jerry Nadler, also known as Jabba the Hutt in the House, jumps in with his 2 cents.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Nadler.
if any witness objects, he should not be asked to identify himself. We do not have religious tests for office or for anything else, and we should let it go with that.
And we're gavelled out. The Democrats are coming for God. They're coming for God in committee hearings. They're coming for God on your money. And eventually they'll come for God in the Constitution and our founding documents. Will you stand? Testudo, my friends. Testudo.
Mike Opalka's 2-Minute Drill is powered by MoJoWildRice.com. Their wild rice is a superfood, gluten, sodium, fat, and cholesterol-free, yet high in fiber, protein, zinc, phosphorus, and trace minerals. But you're going to love it because it's delicious. MoJoWildRice.com. MoJoWildRice.com.
The Daily Mojo.
Don't forget to get your communiques in using the hashtag What I Learned Today. Texas Yankee just tweeted, we need female representation in all things, unless it's Siri. Apparently so. Stinky says they're assuming the plastic object's gender choices based on their own norms. Or lack of. Mojo Jedi says they should all go back to Stephen Hawking's computer voice. That would be fun. That's true. Hold on. I keep forgetting I have her here.
That's true.
She stands, and she's so, that's the beauty of this one. She just sits there and waits.
That's true.
Until I point at her. And she says nothing. To the phones we go. Actually, a guest this morning, and please correct me if I mispronounce your name. Is it Beatley? Terry Beatley?
You got it.
I did get it. I knew I had a 50-50 shot. She is the author of What If We've Been Wrong? This recounts the transformational story of America's abortion king, Dr. Bernard Nathanson. Welcome to the program, Terry. Thank you for being here. This is talk about an about face for somebody, and let's kind of back up. Go ahead and explain who Dr. Nathanson was.
Yeah, and what I'd like to do, Brad, is say, you can't study the American Revolutionary War without knowing George Washington. You cannot understand the abortion war that happened on this country without understanding the father of this abortion movement, which was Dr. Bernard Nathanson. So Nathanson, back in '69, he and was 3 atheists, 2 were communists. He was not. But they formed the National Association for the Repeal of Abortion Law. Today it's known as NARAL, Pro-Choice America. It was the first pro-abortion political action organization to push legalized abortion all over the country. And he back then he was known as America's abortion king. Interestingly, though, after he deceived our country with 8 points of propaganda, 6 months after celebrating Roe v. Wade, Dr. Bernard Nathanson sees the baby in the womb for the first time on a brand new technology called real-time ultrasound. And what America does not know is that the father of this horrible thing we call legalized abortion, he does an about face. And he then begins to admit all the lies that the abortion movement was based upon.
That's amazing. So up until that point, he had just looked at it as, it was something he couldn't see. It was just something that he imagined in there, and it was to him it was the clump of cells thing, and it had no form, no shape.
Actually, no. He knew. He and NARAL knew they denied what they knew to be true, that an abortion kills an existing human being. But they wanted to get it legalized anyway, because you got to understand that the sexual revolution came bearing down on the women's movement, and it ended up commandeering the women's movement. This is why sexual politics is so embedded in the women's movement today, because it was totally and utterly commandeered by a bunch of Marxists who wanted to force legalized abortion onto our country. So Nathanson knew it was a baby. He did think he was doing the right thing for women, but he knew full well they were denying the humanity of the unborn child.
What was it about seeing this image then, this real-time ultrasound? What was it about that made him, that flipped a switch in his head?
Sure. Well, I think it was just the reality of being able to see life. It's human life. So it convicted his heart. And he said he began to bond with the baby. Any father, any man, seeing a baby on ultrasound, I mean, you take a 4-year-old little boy, right, and you can identify that as human life. And he just knew the science was speaking volumes, and that they had a moral, ethical dilemma on their hands. And he knew that they had to make a change. But of course, and he even compares it. He compares NARAL to being a good Stalinist organization, truth did not matter. They had already gotten what they wanted, and
Right.
to hell with the truth.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you say there are 8 points that he was basically, and he was the architect of the 8 points, if I'm not mistaken, and he also implemented these 8 points, basically propaganda that were foisted on the American public. What were they? Let's run those down.
Well, I mean, I can discuss each one. Don't know if we have enough time. You can stop me if you want to know more of the details.
Well, let's
number
leave people a reason to read your book too. So
sure, that's right. Yeah, you get the book. Go to
Yes.
abortionking.com.
Yes.
Abortionking.com. We want a mayor. We want Brad. We want 60 million books sold, and seriously, one book for every baby who lost his or her life through abortion since 1973. We're now pushing 61 million babies. But anyway, the 8-point strategy, it started with framing the debate.
Right.
And then the second thing was coming up with the slogans to deceive America.
Mm-hmm.
And the third thing was they used the complicit media. So unlike you, who dig for the truth, the media, of course, they're lazy for the most part. And so he's an OBGYN. He could tell them anything.
Mm-hmm.
And he would give them false facts, false statistics, false polling, and then he would repeat these lies over and over. And being an MD, they believed him. They trusted him. And then, and most interesting, is they also executed what was called the Catholic strategy. I give 90-minute seminars on what was NARAL's Catholic strategy, which was basically to separate Catholics' religious conviction from their legislative judgment, meaning to be able to, they already had about half of the Catholics in their back pocket, but they needed more Catholics who were totally opposed to abortion to be able to separate their abhorrence toward abortion from the voting booth. So they convinced Catholics that it's okay, go in and vote for a pro-abortion candidate. It's okay because it's just a woman's decision with her doctor, and it's her body, her choice. But you can remain personally against abortion. And in Nathanson's own words, he said, now we were poised to use them to push abortion across the country.
We're talking to
So
Terry.
I fly all over the country, educating Catholics, pastors, everybody. We've got to know the history.
And we're talking with Terry Beatley. She has a new book called What If We've Been Wrong? Keeping My Promise to America's Abortion King. You interviewed Dr. Nathanson in 2009. One of the things that you said he was basically the deception that he was the author of ended up being responsible for the death of 60 million American babies. When you spoke with him, how does that, because that has got to be one hell of a thing to have on your conscience as a human being. Yeah. What was his frame of mind? How did he even process that within himself?
Yeah, he had not granted an interview in well over a year, and he was 83, terminally ill with cancer, very, very frail. And it was a very somber kind of interview.
Sure.
And the good news, though, is Dr. Nathanson became a child of God on December 8th, 1996. He was baptized, and he knew God had forgiven him, but I don't believe he ever forgave himself. So at the end of the interview, I write in my book, his remorse, if you could touch remorse, if you could grab it, it was hanging in the air, tangible. Oh. And at the end of the interview, I said, Dr. Nathanson, if you have a message for America, if you tell me what it is, I promise you, I will deliver it across our country until it becomes common knowledge or until Roe v. Wade is overturned. And I didn't know what he would say, Brad. I didn't know if he'd say, look, my day is done.
Right.
You all take it from here. But he didn't. He said, continue teaching the strategy of how I deceived America, meaning with the lie that abortion is women's health care. And then he said this, and I just want this to go so far and wide. He said, then tell America that the co-founder of NARAL says to love one another. Abortion is not love. Stop the killing. The world needs more love, and I'm all about love now. So from the father of America's industry of abortion, who's deceived millions and millions of women.
And that is stunning. Personally, he was responsible. It says for the death of 75,000. So he performed himself 75,000 abortions.
Yeah, well, let me walk you through that.
Mm-hmm.
When he was in med school, he paid an abortionist to abort he and his girlfriend's baby. That was his step into the insanity of abortion.
Mm-hmm.
And then he personally aborted 5,000 babies.
Mm-hmm.
He trained doctors on how to kill babies.
Understood.
On another 10,000 babies. And then after they flipped the law in New York, making New York one of the most aggressive, pro-abortion states, they had flipped a 140-year-old law that had protected babies in the womb in 18 months with propaganda. Then he ran the largest abortion mill in the Western Hemisphere, where they were killing 900 babies per week in New York City. And so he managed that facility for another 60,000 babies. So this doctor was responsible, and he said, Terry, I'm responsible for 75,000 babies, including 2 of my own, and basically skidding the road for Roe v. Wade.
Wow. It's sobering, and as an individual, I would imagine. I can't really imagine, because it's overwhelming that at the end of life, when you're sitting there staring death in the face, and you are whether or not you believe in God or something after you go. If you're going to face something, whether it's the inky blackness of nothingness for eternity, that has got to weigh heavy on your brain and on your soul.
Or the fire of hell.
Right.
I mean, let's be real here.
Yes.
It's one or the other. There's no middle road.
Right.
But Nathan, I mean, he knew God had forgiven him. I mean, he had repented. He told me, Terry, ask me anything. I have nothing to hide anymore. He wanted everybody to know the truth. I mean, you got to understand, his lies shifted the American Medical Association.
Mm-hmm.
They used to be 100% opposed to abortion. They know it's killing a baby, but they bought into the Marxist lies of NARAL. You got to keep in mind, too, he in 1970, he went to Planned Parenthood board of directors begging Planned Parenthood in New York to join with NARAL to try to get abortion legalized, Brad. And Planned Parenthood sat there stoically and basically said, no, we're not going to help you. Because it was as late as 1965, Planned Parenthood itself has in writing warning women not to have an abortion because it kills an existing human life, and it may make you sterile, so you cannot have a baby when you want one. But why did Planned Parenthood get into the business? Because after NARAL flipped it in New York and then started pushing this across the country, 250,000 women descended into New York City, and Planned Parenthood saw all the money they were leaving on the gynecology table.
Mm.
And then who did they call but Bernard Nathanson, and he trained them for 2 years.
Terry Beatley is the author of What If We've Been Wrong? Keeping My Promise to America's Abortion King. It sounds like a fascinating read. Where can people find the book?
Yeah, don't get it from Amazon. They take 50% of the profits from the writer, and it's go to abortionking.com. We've got an ebook, softback, hardback, and if you have to have audio, then that's the only place you can get it is on Amazon. So what if we've been wrong? But go to abortionking.com.
All right. Terry, thank you so much. We'll go ahead and we'll tweet out a link to that, and appreciate you being on the program this morning.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's, even if you have had that come to Jesus moment with yourself and you believe God has forgiven you,
that's hard. It's got to be a hard position for him to be in. I mean, when you think about that, look, there are people every day, Brad, who have to face this decision, and it sucks. And the people for and the people against are still facing this decision, because even though they may personally make a decision not to do it,
right,
they still have family members that are. Well, look, I've been put in that position myself.
Sure, and it's a tough decision on a personal level. I get that, but when you are the quote unquote the author, the creator of this mess, and you are personally responsible in your own words for 75,000 abortions.
Yeah,
it boggles your mind. I mean, that is something. America, abortionking.com. Go to abortionking.com and get your book there. Again, we'll tweet out that link here in just a bit. While you're online, what a tough transition. While you're online, go to lovemytummy.com. It's I see you see the yeah, there you go. Well, that's
one image to another.
Yeah, yep. There you go. Just put it right out there. You'll learn about bloating and abdominal discomfort. They are not normal. You can find out what you can do about them with Atrantil. It is a first-in-class nutraceutical. And Dr. Ken, the guy behind all of this, he is he in today?
Yeah, he's got a show today.
He's got a show today?
I think they're in today. I haven't heard different.
Well, see if he stops by today, because it's always a welcome visit from Dr. Ken. And besides, I think he still owes me 4 bags of M&Ms, which is why he has been avoiding me every time he comes in.
Maybe he's listening right now, Brad, and he will bring those in.
I doubt it.
Me too.
It's possible. But go to lovemytummy.com and find out if Atrantil is right for you. And as again, every time I heard Jeremy Hansen this morning on a promo. When I think Jeremy Hansen, I think explosive bouts of diarrhea.
I'm sure he's thankful.
Yep, there you go. It's his fault. JR15 tweeted using hashtag what I learned today. The gynecology table isn't as sweet as it sounds. Exactly. Isn't JR15 a dentist? What if you have to
I do not know the answer to that question, but that would be ironic, wouldn't it?
I want to say yes.
Open wide? Open wide?
When you're having,
I don't know. Open wide's not. That's probably not a good.
When you're deciding to go into the medical field and you got to choose one end or the other. Larky F and Farkin, when monkey talks, logic and morals often walk. And did you hear what she said? If you repeat the lies basically long enough,
you begin to believe them.
People will believe them, and especially if you're a doctor and you have and you get it on TV. If it's on TV, it's got to be true.
Look, honestly, here's my thing: there is such thing as a Hippocratic oath. Doctors take the Hippocratic oath. I do not know how you can take that oath, Brad, and still do that type of job.
Because I think that in their head they are.
It's called rationalization.
Yes, it's absolutely rationalization, and it's you're tricking yourself into thinking it's for the mother's health, that it is healthy. You start to believe your own lies. I mean, you start to believe your own press, and that's the thing. And that happens with a lot of people in a lot of different areas. People start to believe their own press release, basically.
Correct.
And that's when you get in trouble. When you start believing the crap that you're putting out. Whether it's abortion, it doesn't matter what it is. When you start believing the things that you've concocted in your head, that's when you start getting into big trouble. Michael Avenatti, for instance, I think he started believing everything that was in his head. You see, where he was indicted for defrauding his client Stormy Daniels.
There's nothing about this story that surprises me.
I don't know who didn't see this one coming. He was actually indicted on charges that he essentially went to her publisher and had the funds from I guess her book, which amounted to like $300,000. I want to say had them rerouted to his account, that he controlled, and what he ended up doing was basically spending the money. And this is the guy who was on CNN and all of the left-leaning sites for I think 100 times he was on CNN. I mean, it was crazy. At
one point, every time you turned on the TV, you were seeing his mug.
And the thing is, he was gonna be the he had the let's put it this way, he had delusions of becoming the presidential candidate. Let's see, what are the charges? I don't have the list of them here in front of me. I do know that he was indicted on these charges of actually taking the money from Stormy, and which probably explains their little falling out that they had not too long ago. Back to smartphone apps. There's a new one being developed by the Japanese police. It's being widely downloaded by women there. It is to protect themselves in Japan from, wait for it, this is an app on your phone, remember, gropers on rush hour trains.
Wait.
Groping.
How is an app going to stop groping?
That's a good question. And the thing is,
unless the app comes up and goes, doot, somebody's groping you.
Right.
Throw me at them.
Which I would think that you probably would already know someone's groping you
by the time the app goes off.
Whatever happened to
Groper
just turning
in the
around?
vicinity? Groper in the vicinity.
How about when somebody gropes you, you turn around?
Snap a picture.
Well, not only that, just turn around and slap him. The problem is, I'm sure the problem is you don't know who's doing it because, I mean, it's fairly easy when you're in a crowded room or crowded subway, reach over and it wasn't me.
Does it say in the story how it plans to?
It was the Digi Police app, originally designed and issued by Tokyo Police 3 years ago. It's a function to scare off molesters, was only added a few months ago. Since then, the app has reportedly been downloaded hundreds of thousands of times. Women in crowded trains and other public places in Japan face the sexual harassment, typically too afraid to call out for help due to a sense of embarrassment. With the app, victims can press a repel groper icon to produce a written message saying, "There is a groper here, please help." With another press, the message turns red and the voice repeatedly says, "Please stop, please stop, please stop."
Okay, I can't see this going wrong
This
at
is
all.
the dumbest thing I think I've ever heard. Wow. This is...
I thought it was going to have like a loud alert that says, "Hey, stop touching me there."
The voice does repeatedly say, "Please stop." This is just...
Somebody's getting screwed by this app. I can tell you that right now. Somebody's about to get it.
Well, okay, what you get a written message first saying there's a groper here, please. What are you supposed to do? Hold your phone up so people can see it?
I don't know, dude.
This
big old flashing screen with red text.
And the bigger question I think that we're missing here is, in what sex is the voice? Is it a dude? Please help. Please stop. Please stop. Or is it Siri's voice? Please stop. Please stop. Please stop.
This is the Japanese police.
Yeah. Jeez,
this is almost like Minority Report kind of thing.
This is crazy.
Are a groper.
This is nuts. The app includes an alarm and can notify a designated email address when used. Oh, good.
Oh, yeah. And thank God it doesn't go to Brad Staggs.
You're getting your ass grabbed and someone's getting an email. Yes.
That they won't ever look at.
No, that's absolutely right. Yeah. Do not designate me.
Oh, snap. I got this email about 4 hours ago. Are you okay?
Yeah, right.
Oh, no, it's over and done with.
What the hell is an email going to do? A feature that can also be used by children and their parents.
Somebody's getting messed over. They're going to walk by some dude who's sitting there minding his own business, reading the news, drinking his coffee. Please stop.
Please stop. Please stop. Please stop.
Oh,
Please
man.
stop. Users can also locate crime-prone areas on the body. I think I can guess which areas they're groping. They mean areas in the general vicinity. Okay. And you'll also be able to locate police stations on the app. So, the crime-prone areas, I can get that. So you say, okay, well, this is, I better keep an eye out around here because there have been a lot of reports, but the rest of it is pretty stupid.
Look, the app would be better suited to go to give you an announcement on your phone. This train car or this location has had reported groping in the past. Please be aware.
Right. Yeah, just...
Please stop.
Please stop. Please stop. We need to get that. We'll have to find it.
We need to find that.
Yep. That's found. I got homework now. Violent crime, they say, is rare in Japan, but groping, ranging from rubbing against victims to placing a hand under their clothing, is an everyday occurrence. Why doesn't this ever happen to me? Why? It's been taken lightly as a nuisance, so posters have been put up at stations and in train cars to remind passengers that groping is a crime. Jeez. Groping is a crime.
Let's remind everybody.
Don't they teach that in kindergarten? I'm pretty sure that's one of the first lessons.
Don't touch me there.
Yes. Basically,
Good
keep your
Lord.
hands to yourself is one of the very first rules that you learn. Keep your hands to yourself. And if people haven't learned it by the time they're 20, 30, 40, and beyond, there's no hope for them. I would recommend instead of the app, you carry a taser. That has much.
Oh, yeah.
That has a much more immediate result, and it's much more satisfying to watch them on the ground.
Taser, pepper spray. I mean, those are reasonable alternatives to a damn app.
Yeah.
That says, please stop.
Please stop. Please
Why are you
stop.
being so damn nice?
Right.
Cut the crap.
Tase him. Just tase him. You will be far more satisfied if you just tase him. So, I mean,
kick him in the ding ding.
What do we have to?
That's what it is.
Kick him in the ding ding. Maybe that's the second message that comes out of the apps. Please stop, or I'll kick you in the ding ding. Ilhan Omar was on Stephen Colbert's show. What's it called? Is it the Late Show that he does?
Honestly, I don't know.
I don't either. He was interviewing her, and well, here's what Ilhan Omar had to say.
What do you say to those people who say go slow?
Okay.
I mean, I think Nancy knows this very well. Women have been told to go slow and not be seen and not be heard for many years.
Okay, I'm calling Bravo Sierra on that. When was the last time? I mean, I've heard. Don't get me wrong. There are times you say go slow, go slow, go slow, 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 slow. But I've never heard. I've never used the phrase "don't be seen," "don't be seen,"
or heard.
This is.
Yeah.
When was the last time you ever saw? I mean, maybe I'm just, and I'm not a woman, so I don't know if this does happen. It's wrong, obviously. But really, is this still a problem? Is this still a problem is she talking about government? Is she talking about private business? Is she talking about at home?
She's probably talking about at home.
Well, if she's talking about home, I can understand that. Shh, stop talking. And by the way, I'm tired of looking at you.
That's right. Go away.
But no, have women in business been told this? I've not seen this.
And she wouldn't have made it to where she is if she did. And it's certainly the case for minority women, and the three of us are minorities and people of color. We are not there to be quiet. We are not there to be invisible.
Well, she's certainly not being quiet, so she's correct on that. That is, you can't. This is the perfect example, like we said, believing your own press, believing your own PR, creating your own reality. This woman,
the headline on that story scares the crap out of me.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez defends Ilhan Omar as the pair breaks Ramadan fast at Congress's first iftar, which, by the way, was a horrible movie. That was Ishtar. Sorry, yes. I was close. I apologize. There's no doubt they're crazy, but you got to watch out for them because you just don't know what's coming up. If you haven't gone yet to thegunbox.com, checked out what they have there, you will be amazed. It is and I just reached over with my little RFID tag and waved it magically over the gun box, and poof, it opened up. And what did we hear when it opened up?
I'm sexy.
That's right. Mm-hmm. You go to thegunbox.com, you'll find the Gunbox 2.0, the Echo that you can take on vacay with you, or wherever. If you're on the road, it's a travel companion. You can keep your weapons safe. And don't forget the app that will send you an alert. Actually, a useful alert, unlike the groping app. This will be a useful alert that lets somebody know when someone is groping your gun box at home. If you don't want your gun box groped, go to thegunbox.com, and if you have one, always tell us your story, because we love to hear the good stories. Gunbox.com. This, of course, your Daily Mojo.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. MoJo 5-0.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. 3 people killed, widespread destruction, the result of a wave of tornadoes that ripped across parts of Missouri and Oklahoma overnight. Correspondent Dave Lieb says it was a very long night for people in Missouri's hard-hit capital city.
One of the buildings hit in Jefferson City was an apartment complex near the YMCA. The outer wall of the YMCA has collapsed, and people in the apartment complex say they were awakened to the roof being blown off their building and debris falling down.
Jefferson City Police Lieutenant Dave Williams urging people who are safe at home to stay put.
My message, first and foremost, is that we need people that are not affected to stay out of those areas. We would hate to have to get resources in place by arresting people who should not be there that are in the way.
The 3 fatalities occurred north of Joplin, Missouri. Today, the severe weather threat has shifted to the east. After 17 years in a federal prison, the man known as the American Taliban is scheduled for release today. 38-year-old John Walker Lynn was captured on a battlefield in Afghanistan in late 2001. The Pentagon will ask the White House for permission to send up to 10,000 more U.S. troops to the Mideast to counter Iranian aggression. Formal request expected later today. Global aviation officials have gathered in Texas for an FAA update on the Boeing 737 MAX jetliner.
All MAX jets were grounded worldwide in March, days after a deadly crash in Ethiopia. It was the second crash of a MAX jet in 5 months, preceded by a crash in Indonesia last October.
Correspondent Mike Gracia says the acting FAA chief vows to keep the planes grounded until there's absolutely no doubt about the aircraft's airworthiness. On Wall Street this morning, Dow futures are down 221 points. S&P futures 25 points lower. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395.
Hi, it's Doc Thompson for Matthew 25 Ministries. Matthew 25 Ministries is one of the few charities I'll actually endorse because I know them. I've worked with them, and I know almost all of the money that you donate goes to help people. Go to m25m.org, m25m.org.
Radio's so good it will knock you out of your seat. Uncommon Sense with Bill and Jen, Monday through Fridays at 11 a.m. Eastern.
MoJo 50.
Do you like good coffee? I do. Do you like amazing coffee drops? I do too.
American Pride Roasters, historically great coffee. Did you know if you drink APR coffee or eat APR coffee drops, it will instantly heal any ailment you have?
The legendary Fountain of Youth wasn't just one fountain, but actually many fountains close to each other. Each fountain had a different APR coffee in it instead of water.
Coming soon to APR is the Washington, D.C. blend. It is just a bag full of hot air.
APR coffee drops are not just a superfood. They're a super duper ultra mega Doppler food. They are by far the healthiest thing you can eat.
Want to know the secret to what makes APR taste so good? They use the happy tears of unicorns. Go get yours today, AmericanPrideRoasters.com. That's AmericanPrideRoasters.com. Get yours today.
If we weren't so bad.
To puppy rape.
I like to cuss. Do I want to keep my penis?
Cat wants some black titties.
We wouldn't be so good. MoJo 50.
The mothership has landed.
Yep, and we're bringing all of the aliens with us. Pickled Squirrel just tweeted using the hashtag what I learned today. Men, women, and everyone in between are prone to hashtag so many words. The rest of us are responsible for saying, shut the hell up with the blah, blah, blah. When Omar says things that just make no sense, and yeah, I think you're right. It's the or who said it? Somebody may have tweeted it. I get you mixed up with tweets a lot, Ron, for some reason.
Me?
Yeah, it may be the early dementia that I must be suffering setting in. She probably hears a lot of people telling her to shut up because of all of the anti-Semitic crap that she keeps spewing.
Oh, easy. Yeah,
so that's,
sure.
I'm sure maybe her personal experience is that, in fact, that people are telling women to shut up because the woman is her. Izzo's on the line. How you doing, buddy?
I want that Japanese
friggin' app for me. I want it for me.
You know what?
I want to be the one.
You
to
want
wear
it to be used against you, or you want
No,
the
I
app?
want it to be wear. Oh, you can't rape the willing. I
Right.
want to wear it.
Right. That's
Like,
I wonder if it's in Japanese. It must be in Japanese, obviously, because they're not going to
That
have
would
it.
be the best part. That would be the best part. I want it. Konnichiwa. Don't rape me. Hi.
It's just so stupid. I don't understand why, but whatever.
So, attention, you being molested. Attention, being molested.
That's why they don't have L's in the Japanese language. Let's see. Running Jackhole tweeted, I'm pretty certain Ilhan Omar is referring to how women are treated in her home country of Somalia. Yes. I would. That's probably correct in that. But the thing is, you come over here into a country that. Why did you come here? If we're so horrible, why does everyone want to come to this country? I mean, aside from the government benefits, of course, which are kind of nice.
Punch and pie.
Right.
And pie.
Well, and by the way, thank you for calling in. I wanted to. I know it's a new day in Chicago. At the moment, your beloved hometown. I'm sure that as the sun came up earlier this week as the new mayor, Lori Lightfoot, was sworn in as the new mayor of Chicago. The birds were chirping, the skies were blue, there was song in the air because everything's different now. Right?
Lesbians wore lipstick. Yep.
Everything is different. She is she has inherited something a little. I won't even call it a hot mess because I'm not even sure it rises to that.
I feel bad for her. I'm going to tell you flat out. She was elected for one reason, and it's unfortunate. I don't wish anybody bad. I wish her success. I really truly do. But she's a pawn. She was elected for three reasons: her race, her gender, and her sexual preference, and it's that simple. She is a historic first female black lesbian mayor of Chicago, and that's all the news was reporting upon her election, upon her swearing in, when she wound up giving her speech when she got sworn in the other day. It was this. Anybody, I could have read the speech and sounded great because it was the cookie cutter. We're gonna do change and put the guns down, and we're gonna stop killing each other, and we need equal opportunities. And then she, which is great. That's all Chicago issues. I had a big problem when she wound up having to talk about my heart is in Georgia's in my heart tonight, and Alabama's in my heart tonight, and women's rights are in my heart. That's not Chicago issue. That's a national issue.
Mm-hmm.
Worry about your backyard. But I truly hope, I really hope that she's doing good. She's off to a bad start already because one of the first things that she did was reassign her security detail from Chicago Police Department to the private sector.
Did she really?
And I
bet that didn't sit well with the cops, did it?
To be honest,
or
I think
did
it's
it?
time the cops start. No, I don't know. I think it's good time the cops actually start acting like firefighters. You don't see firefighters driving around actively looking for fires to put out.
Right.
I think that cops need to be a little bit more reactive. But that's the bitter side of me. But,
Well,
I wish her well. I really wish her well.
The bitter side of you, there's another side?
Well, that's that. Yeah.
Do I have to flip?
Warning, being molested. I am being molested.
Do I have to flip you over to find the other side? Here, she has just, there's a story out this morning in Chicago Tribune says that she will be replacing the entire Chicago school board.
That I did not know about.
See here, the announcement came less than an hour after board president Frank Clark told fellow board members at their regular monthly meeting that he is stepping down. Lightfoot's office said the names of the new school board committee members, school board members will be announced in the coming days. They will be sworn in June 26th. The mayor said in a statement she wants to ensure that decisions made on behalf of our children are led by those with different perspectives throughout the district as she prepares to.
More of course, because once again, it is nothing more than your race and your gender. it is never going to be the best person qualified for the job. You can't keep these kids in school in the first place. I think 2016, CPS had a 57% graduation rate for black males. 57%. Wow. You can't keep the kids in school. So if it isn't, it's just not working. So, but let's keep switching people around. Let's keep just trying to do the stuff that isn't working. The school system is archaic. I think most people know that the school system that we went through, single file line, sit at your desk when the bell rings.
Right.
That was for the Industrial Revolution. It was teaching kids how to get ready for assembly line jobs. Kids don't work that way today. They have ADD in the brain. They can't sit still. But you know what? When this town burns, I'm going to be watching from Texas anyways, so I don't care.
She said at a news conference earlier yesterday, her administration wanted to make sure we were doing what we could to really bring diversity into the process and place emphasis on existing CPS parents, people who've been through the local school council process or otherwise were viewed in the field as education experts. So you're right. I mean, it's just about the diversity card and how many different colors of the rainbow we can get in there. And what happened, as you said, what happened to putting the right person for the job in a job? Why
that doesn't pay. That's not what people want to hear.
It doesn't seem to work. And the Chicago statistics, I have not checked those.
Would you like them?
Yes,
Are we
please.
talking about the shooting gallery? Is that what we're talking about?
Yes.
So we had 5 more shot last night. So we're at was it 4 months? We're in the 5th month of the year. So technically we're at 4 months and 23 days today for the year. We have 835 shot in Chicago with a total of 179 murdered. And just for the month alone, it's 157 shot with 33 people murdered. So I think I did the math last night. That's at around 7.2 people shot per day in the month alone here.
How? And I don't know. I have no idea what her first step would be to combat the war zone that is the streets of Chicago. I mean, what do you do?
She said that. Well, that's what she said. She's in her words and her speech is, it is a war zone. People are looking at it as a war zone. It's gotten so far out of hand that the only thing you can do is take a drastic step to go the other way. You need to do everything shy of violating people's civil rights to restore law and order. There is no other way. The way that I think I worded it the other day was like my generation screwed up with these kids. So these kids now have never known discipline, have never known cause and effect, have never known hot stove don't touch. So you need to flood cops on the streets. You need to saturate cops on the streets. You need to stop with all the petty crime arresting crap, and you need to really, really lawfully and legally smack the living crap out of people when it's justified.
As a cop, though, I mean, you've got to know if that plan was if it was what's the word I'm looking for? If it was initiated, if they put it into play, as a cop, you'd have to know you're walking into a meat grinder.
You are, and here's the problem, Eddie. They created such a generation of cops without spines because that's what they asked for. That the new cops now, they're not going to know how to do this crap. What did they just talk on the news yesterday? Superintendent Andy Johnson talked about a new virtual reality way of training cops. And, this is the kicker. The asinine, everything is to create a board and a panel to solve these problems.
Right.
She just put on a board. She put Father Michael Flager on a board for police integrity or whatnot. There's some new citizens accountability thing. Father Michael Flager is this white Peter Cetera looking cop, Peter Cetera looking priest who has been in the city for decades, and he's in the black neighborhoods, this and that. One of his first things he did the other day, this is a Catholic priest, and I don't know if he's been defrocked or not. St. Sabina's Church is where he's out of. One of the very first things he did was sit down with Louis Farrakhan to talk about issues. So this city is beyond lost. It's beyond lost. It's not even worth saving anymore. It needs to be it needs Thanos to come here, snap his fingers, and eliminate everyone.
I was funny you should mention. I was thinking that one of the ways to knock back the war zone, you put up a fence around it and you don't let people out. But
here's Emperor's Izzo solution. So Chicago's got, I think, they've got wards, and I don't know how many they've got, but we've probably got about conservatively 8 wards which are out of control, and those wards are neighborhoods. So what you do when I'm given my scepter of power and I am Emperor Izzo of the world, I'm going to take every single cop, teacher, firefighter, paramedic, nurse out of those wards, and I'm going to put them into wards that know how to follow the law, and I'm going to give them what they want, which is you take care of your own problem. Because everybody's against you anyway, so you think.
Right.
And we're going to put big borders up. And when you learn how to behave yourselves, when you learn the intrinsic value of human life, you can have your public service back.
Yeah,
that's what's going to happen.
Well, I look forward to your inauguration day.
There you go.
Although you won't be present because you won't be there anymore, so it really
will be
kind of a moot point.
No, I will be ruling very firmly. I will reinstitute prima nocta, and yes, and it will be we will have an Izzo and Staggs harem.
There you go.
That we will not be allowed to touch for some strange reason because we'll be wearing you molest me.
Right.
Yeah, it's stuff.
And please do not give me. I don't want the 72 virgins. I want some experience in there. I will. I don't want to have to train on the job. That is just.
That sounds like too much work.
Black titty.
Mm-hmm.
We want black titty.
By the way, Let's Be Frank in PA over in the MeWe chat room said Izzo would make a great black lesbian mayor.
Yes,
there you
go.
All you have to do is identify as it. All right, buddy. Thanks for calling. You're on tonight. It's 7 o'clock Eastern time. That would be 6 o'clock Central, the Rants of Izzo. And I would ask you what you're going to talk about tonight, but you have no idea.
Not a damn clue. I'll know 5 minutes before.
There you go. That's all that matters. All right.
See you, brother.
I'm going to go take my pants off. Later.
Yeah, I'm surprised he was wearing pants to begin with.
Yeah. I think he felt like he needed to get dressed up for the show.
I was disappointed that he was wearing pants because I pictured him not wearing pants the whole time.
Nice.
Damn it. Our sponsor of this part of the program, they're so proud. They're Cat Coolers. And I ever wonder if they're listening, why in the hell did they put me right next to that? Of course, we're this program, you never know. You never know what you're going to get. You do know what you're going to get with a Cat Cooler, though. You're going to get a cooler that will keep stuff cold for days. Ice cold for days. Literally. And it's amazing the technology that they have put into these things. Plus, if you're a business, and I always forget to mention this, because if you're a business, you can get these Cat Coolers personalized. You can get your logo put on them. I mean, it's amazing the things that you can do with these Cat Coolers. And if you click on dealer, I've never clicked on this before. If you go to catcoolers.com and then click on dealer application, do you know what comes up?
Cat Cooler dealer application?
Yes, that's so weird. Let's say and then right there below it says, see our new kiosk low inventory model. Well, is she hot? That's all I want to know. If she's hot, I want to see the model. Just go to catcoolers.com. Whether it's you as an end user want to get one of these for, and again, this is the first full weekend of, it is Labor Day weekend, the first full weekend of
summer.
No, Bob, we're already in summer, aren't we?
Yeah, I think so.
Or is it June 21st? It's June 21st. The first is summer. It all feels the same down here in Texas.
I don't know.
It feels
but this is the start of the kids being out of school and the start of
Yay.
summer. I mean,
you get kids are out of school. Parents everywhere going.
That is the most annoying damn sound,
right? That's if I put my thumb in the chicken's mouth. Wow. Doesn't make much sound at all, does it? It's Remember, sit there and shut up. I don't want to see you either. Stop treating that chicken like a woman. Go to catcoolers.com and get yours. And if you use promo code Brandon, you will get 10% off said cooler. It's catcoolers.com, promo code Brandon. I brought a box in today, and it's been sitting on the table all morning long. And I want your help. So if you're already watching, and by the way, if you're trying to watch on Facebook, it didn't work most likely, because you have to go to MoJo50.com. I got to back up 3 steps here. Go to MoJo50.com and click on MoJo50 TV. And when you do that, it's going to, if you haven't yet registered as a member, if you haven't registered as a member, then Ron, tell me if I'm doing this right. If you have to register as a member before you can watch MoJo50 TV.
Correct. So and if you click on the link, it'll take you to a registration page.
It'll force you to.
Well, no, I mean, but if you're already a member, you just click on the login.
But if you're not a member, it'll force you to be a member.
That's correct. It'll force you to be a member. It's free, for Pete's sake. What do you want?
I'm
here to model your box.
Make sure that you go to the website if you want to see it, because this is a box that I bought some time ago under the guise of it being a magic box.
So we're on this camera right here. So.
Okay. And it's a box. It's about the size of maybe 2 shoe boxes stacked on top of each other.
That's right.
It has a sliding lid, and then
and so inside of it is pretty shallow. But when you realize that it's pretty shallow,
it looks
you
like
can
they're
pull
drawers.
these. Yeah, they look like drawers, but they're not. It's simply a flat piece of wood, but it opens it up a little more, and then you can go all the way down.
Yeah.
What would this box have been used for?
I have absolutely no idea. I've racked my brain on this thing literally for years. I have shown it to experts in the field of magic, and nobody can figure out what this thing is. And it may be, literally, it could be a really bad 7th grade woodshop project. I don't know. This could have been a training piece for, somebody in woodshop.
When I first opened it, I thought it could have been let's say a coin collector's display case. And when I say that, not necessarily a display case, but a storage. But the problem is
right.
You can't pull this out with your stuff sitting in there.
No, there's no way. The little slide out parts. I mean, again, this could have been little Ricky, who should never have been in woodshop, trying to make a little chest of drawers. Little Ricky doesn't know his ass from a hole in the ground.
Pulling this out
knocks everything off. And so it's very strange. It's
not like a chick hatching box or something.
No, because if you pull the little trays out, then all the little chicks would be knocked off and right into each other, and you break the eggs, it'd be hell on wheels.
Well, no, I get that.
It's got nice dovetail corners on it.
Yeah, it's a nice box. It's pretty well built.
Yes, it is. And I mean, there have been times I thought, well, maybe I've got it turned wrong. It's good, but no, the bottom is definitely the bottom. It's the way it sits. It's got a little sliding top on it. And if anybody's ever seen anything like this, I sure would like to know what the hell it is. Because at this point, I have no clue, and it makes no sense in this universe. It could be, maybe it's a portal to another universe. That would be kind of cool.
That's just what we need, the portal.
I'd love it if it was a portal to another universe. Think about how much fun we could have. Wow. So anyway, if you have any idea what it is, I would, I'd love to know, because I have absolutely no clue what in the hell that thing is. Let's see. Oh, and I will have to say this. So there was a meeting on Capitol Hill. It was the House Financial Services Committee, which, you ought to see their Christmas parties. I believe it's Katie Porter, who's a representative from California. She was discussing, I may have to refresh this to play it for you. She was asking questions of Mr. Ben Carson, Secretary of Housing and Urban Development.
She was quite the ass, if I remember right.
Well, I cannot, I'm not sure that I can. I'm just going to play this, and you tell me what you think about what she's saying and what Ben Carson is saying, because I can see arguments for both sides, quite literally.
I'd also like you to get back to me, if you don't mind, to explain the disparity in REO rates. Do you know what an REO is?
An Oreo?
No, not an Oreo. An REO. REO.
Real estate?
What's the O stand for?
organization?
Owned, real estate owned. That's what happens when a property goes to foreclosure. We call it an REO. And FHA loans have much higher REOs. That is, they go to foreclosure rather than to loss mitigation.
All right. Yes. Is she being condescending? Yes. Is she talking to him the way a man talks to a woman? Of course. Is she mansplaining? Yes. She's built like a linebacker. She's from California. Now, Ben Carson, on the other hand, why the hell doesn't he know what an REO is?
That was my question.
He is the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, and they deal with housing and loans and stuff. I mean, it doesn't sound like all that much fun, sure, but shouldn't he at least kind of know the vernacular? I don't know. She has a point in there. Her presentation,
Or to non-foreclosure alternatives like short sales than comparable loans at the GSEs. So I'd like to know why we're having more foreclosures that end in people losing their homes with stains to their credit and disruption to their communities and their neighborhoods at FHA than we are at the GSEs.
I would be extremely happy if you'd like to have you work with the people who do that.
Well, Mr. Carson, respectfully, that was my day job before I came to Congress. So now it's my job to ask you to work with the people.
and I may have no idea how that whole system works up there, but
why does he look like he's on Ritalin?
No, he doesn't look like like he's on Xanax. He's just
yeah.
I'd be happy. And he's a very quiet person.
He's a very soft-spoken gentleman, no doubt. When he was, trying for the presidency, I mean, quite honestly, it was a drag to listen to him talk.
I've been in the same room with him, and he's just like that. And when he talks, he's just very soft-spoken. He's a surgeon.
Look, now don't get me wrong. He's a neurosurgeon, so if he's working on your brain, I'd rather him be slow and steady.
Sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
And again, my question: why is there a neurosurgeon in charge of housing and urban development? But that's
a damn good question.
Question for another time. But she continues.
I've spent a decade working with the people at HUD on this problem. So what I would like you to do is to take this back to FHA and to ask the folks at FHA, because since 2007, I have been writing about the problems in FHA's servicing. I am a huge fan of FHA. I am a believer in their mission, and I am a champion for them. Are you?
Oh, boy.
Of course, I believe in the mission of FHA.
Are you a champion for the institution, the organization?
Very much so.
Okay, so let me make sure you understand. When a loan, the most common outcome for an FHA loan that goes into default is REO.
And we're back to the cookie again. It was just a very strange interchange between the two, and it did ask a few questions. I mean, why? It seems to me he should have known the answers to these. It's tough standing up for her, but I don't know. I'm not real sure exactly what was on Ben Carson's mind. I'm not sure there was anything on Ben Carson's mind aside from maybe lunch at that point. We'll continue on next with Your Daily Mojo.
A free exchange of ideas. Mojo 50.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go and pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-452-1075. 800-452-1075. That's 800-452-1075.
Dr. Ken Brown here, host of Gut Check Project with my co-host Eric Rieger. Eric, we've been seeing Mojo guys over there and over here at Spoonie talk about Atrantil for bloating. I've seen in my practice that Atrantil is a whole lot more than just a bloating product.
Yes, it does a whole lot more than just fix bloating because of the polyphenols that you find in Atrantil.
You're exactly right. The polyphenols are those molecules that we find in the Mediterranean diet. It makes vegetables and fruits very colorful. What are some of the things that these polyphenols polyphenols do, Eric?
These polyphenols can actually stop inflammation. They can help you have more energy. They can help you with anti-aging. And polyphenols are great for athletes.
It sounds like it's going to help a whole lot more people than just bloating. Tell me how everybody should be taking Atrantil.
If you want to dose Atrantil, it's 2 capsules 3 times a day, basically with your meals. But if you aren't bloated and you just want that polyphenol intake every day, 2 to 3 capsules a day will work for you.
Go to lovemytummy.com/mojo.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. What are you doing this Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time? I'll tell you what you're doing. You're going to be watching the Big Sarge Show over at MoJo 50 Radio. That's right. Big Sarge Show has the best political commentary and roundtable discussion that internet radio has ever seen. The sexiest man on the sexiest platform. That's right. That's Big Sarge on MoJo 50 this Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
The Daily Mojo.
Don't get me wrong. I believe she was condescending. Absolutely. This Representative Katie Porter of California with her grilling of Ben Carson. However, Ben Carson was sitting there much like a hamburger patty and just willing to be grilled. He was not. He was not helping the cause whatsoever. And true, if the roles were reversed, he would have been filleted. You just didn't hear much about this at all from the MSM, although it was on was that on CNBC? It may have been Fox. Let's see here. What are they saying in the? And again, see, here I am. I'm trying to be kind to those over in
Maui?
In the Maui chat room, the French chat room. Helene says, why do some people have no respect for others? That is a question we've been asking since the beginning of time.
And it will not change.
No, and it not only will not change, we will never have the answer to it other than the fact that some people are just a-holes. Peekapool, the snarky jackhole over on the Twitter says maybe exposure to pompous, bloviating politicians causes drowsiness in Dr. Carson. That's absolutely, it's possible.
He's probably the only one doing it right, Brad.
Maybe, and maybe he's just
he's
realizing
got he does kind of have the the word is laissez-faire, but
yes.
I don't give a crap attitude.
Yeah. I mean, he's damned if he does, damned
there
if
was
he
one
doesn't,
point in
so
there
why
where she
bother?
was like, a yes or no answer, sir.
Right.
A yes or no answer. And he'd be, nah, I'll give you some other answer.
James from Alabama, I think he nailed it. Brad, it's Oreo Speedwagon. That was the answer to the question. Yes. Not to Oreo,
But, you know, I think he posted something on his Twitter after that. With him, with a bag of Oreos in his hand, and he was responding.
He's got a sense of humor. I mean, yeah, he's fine. I maybe he realized it just doesn't matter. But you know, those the clips get out there. It's just this is, and again, I'm torn between wanting them to do something while they're in session in Congress and doing absolutely nothing, because sometimes when they do absolutely nothing, that's when we have the best times in this country. By the way, I was going to do headlines in the last half hour, but I decided to change. I want something strange this morning. A little strange happening.
By the way, our buddy Russ says, what did he call that box? Let me go back over here.
Did he have an answer for the box?
He said a haunted diebuck box.
A haunted diebuck box.
Do you know what a diebuck box is?
Sure, I know what it is, but what do you think it is?
He spelled it DYBBUK.
That would be a diebuck.
That's what I said.
You said diebucks.
No, a diebuck box.
Diebuck box.
I have no idea what it is.
A diebuck box.
Either one of them, the box or the diebuck box. I don't know what that is.
Diebuck
Russ will have to, maybe Russ can call in and tell us what the hell a diebuck box is.
I would love to know what a diebuck box is. So we'll see if we can figure that out.
That's not like that little mirror box thing you were telling me about, is it? With the spirit in it that was like
spirit
scared
cabinet?
the hell out of everybody?
No. What? I don't know, because I don't know what a diebuck box is. I mean, it could be the same thing by a different name, but I don't know. We'll see. So far, no one.
It's an old Jewish thing where they seal evil spirits. Yeah, so it's one of those kind of things with the mirrors in it, like you had.
Oh, you're talking about a devil's toy box.
Yeah, a devil's toy box.
A diebuck box.
Oh,
really?
Pronounced Dybbuk. That's what he said. Pronounced Dybbuk. Dybbuk box.
Us white people, we're just, it's just these waspy white guys.
He can type fast as hell, but he still ain't called in. I got you. I'm with you.
Dybbuk.
Okay. Dybbuk or Dybbuk?
Right, I'll look that up. And
yeah,
we'll see. So that's the first. Thank you, Russ. You're the first one who's actually suggested anything. I mean, the jackholes have been.
They're all like, I don't know, shoe polish kit. I don't know.
Bring on the chicken. Let's just do the headlines, I guess. Why not?
We've scoured news platforms and agencies around the globe for today's most profound news headlines.
It fits today.
Presenting them now. Here's Brad Staggs.
What? Proving that a stop clock is right at least twice a day. And if you get down into quantum physics, probably more often than that. See, now Ron can see my computer screen, and he can cheat until I do that.
I will not look at your computer screen.
No, you won't, because I unplugged it.
Man.
5 headlines. One of them ain't true. I'm not even going to try to rhyme it, so F you. Damn it. See, I can't even help it. I try not to, and I still end up rhyming. First up, Pornhub has unveiled its bonerless bathing suit to prevent unwanted public erections.
What?
Yeah.
A bonerless?
Well, come on. Remember 7th grade?
There's no way you can have a bonerless bathing suit.
That's not what Pornhub says. Pornhub has launched a limited edition bonerless bathing suit equipped with a special lining to help conceal any protruding body parts that you might have. They come complete with a... Okay, why did I get stuck with a sticky bell? Damn it. Yeah, never mind.
Don't you find it ironic that Pornhub would come out with that?
No, I think it's smart. I mean, what do they deal with every day? They come complete with special built-in lining made from 100% Lycra, which is designed to hold down without strangling or making it uncomfortable. Duct tape works well, too. We worked hard on the development of this first-of-its-kind bathing suit that should help ease, comfort, and increase enjoyment for the most masterful of bathers and water sports and amateurs alike. This is according to Pornhub Vice President Corey Price. If you're genuinely interested in a groundbreaking swimmer, they will set you back about $70. Wow. That's not cheap. But you know what? If you consider the privacy or the lack of embarrassment that you achieve,
it's got a pair of whitey tighties in it, and you have to tuck. That's what it is.
Are you familiar with this? Familiar with being
I don't.
Yeah.
Next item. Next news story.
Number 2, 18-year-old veteran of Ashland Police Department has retired after allegedly stealing a vehicle. Ashland, Wisconsin, a longtime police officer there, left the department after he stole a car. According to the police department there, they received a report of a stolen vehicle about 5:43 late last month. It was apparently taken from the 100 block of 7th Avenue East in Ashland. I'm not sure if but first of all, Matlock just walked into the studio, which concerns me a little bit. I'm not sure if it was the bonerless bathing suit that brought him in or the stolen car. But it was one of them.
You know it was the bonerless bathing suit.
Well, he looks so unhappy in here. Wow, it's really weird to sit in the room on this side.
I'm fine.
This is kind of an odd view right here.
I'm not unhappy. I was just...
What were we talking about? A bonerless what?
Bonerless bathing suit.
Jesus, this chair sucks.
That's why I don't sit there anymore.
What has Brandon done to this chair?
So I think it was the chicken. The chicken was sitting there earlier.
All right. Jeez. All right. Go ahead. Sorry.
So later that day, the owner located the undamaged vehicle parked in front of a local convenience store, notified police. Officers collected DNA evidence from the vehicle before returning it back to the owners. They also collected surveillance video from a convenience store. Turns out that, in fact, it was an officer on the force. Police,
who stole the vehicle.
Who stole the vehicle.
With a chicken in it?
Nah.
No, there was no chicken in it.
Oh, no chicken in this one?
The Ashland police chief would not comment on if the sheriff's department presented any findings to the police. He said any formal charges would be filed, that is, by the Iron County Sheriff's Department. That's number 2 on your list. That could be the phony story.
What was the first one?
Bonerless bathing suit.
Okay, and now the chicken.
From Pornhub. Yeah.
With the cops.
The chicken.
Got it.
Right, the chicken with the cops. Don't forget that. Story number 2 is the chicken with the cops. Third story, Super Honey cures all wounds. I think we all know this one.
Wow, honey does a lot of things.
Especially a super honey.
Yeah.
Right? It has been produced, super honey that is, that appears to cure all wounds and infections. Bioengineered product that it's called the Surgy Honey was tested, and they've been doing this quietly on babies, new mothers, cancer patients, even the elderly, for over a year in Hampshire hospitals. Hampshire would be in England.
So is it a salve?
It's honey.
Or are you eating it?
Well,
wounds, you laying in it?
Wounds and ulcers, including those infected with the superbug MRSA, healed within days, while the number of women who suffered infections after giving birth by cesarean section has been cut in half in this in the test.
Yeah.
It's also healed the wounds of soldiers. It's been used to treat acne.
And
it sounds like a panacea. It protects the skin of cancer patients fitted with a catheter for chemotherapy. Dr. Matthew Dryden, he's a consultant.
Great name.
Right. Dr. Matthew Dryden is a consultant microbiologist at the Hampshire Hospital NHS Foundation Trust. He said this will revolutionize wound care around the world.
So anywhere in this article does it say how it's applied?
It
orally, via your backside, a suppository.
It does not say.
Rub it on a little, like a little dirt. You know, rub a little dirt on.
Yeah, it seems like it'd be sticky.
Yeah.
No, it does not say if they have been eating it or rubbing it on them.
It's a good night somewhere.
But well, if at least who was it? Garfield, President Garfield, who they tried to feed rectally before he died.
Yes.
Yeah. So I doubt that that's the way that they're applying it. It's number 4? It's number 3.
I was number 3. Sorry, I keep interrupting.
Is it 3 or is it 4?
That was 3.
Are you sure?
Well, you had the boner, the cops, and now that one.
So this is number 4.
Yeah, this is coming up number 4.
See, I don't do this for a while. I forget how to do it.
You're out of, what's like riding a bike.
Yes, it is. I've fallen down a couple times. So I'm back.
Pretty soon that you'll put the chain on, you'll be all right.
Right?
Yeah.
Except the seat is making me go numb down there. I hate it when that happens. You get off, it's like, what the hell? Oh,
well, you know, you can rub some honey on it.
I'm willing to try that.
That's what I've heard.
A steaming pizza billboard is not on fire. This, according to the Mounds View authorities in Mounds View. That's
like the candy bar.
That sounds made up. It's in Minnesota, apparently.
Mounds down.
Steaming pizza billboard in Mounds View alarmed motorists and became a headache for law enforcement. The billboard, advertising for the Iowa-based Casey's convenience store chain, is equipped with a fog machine that gives the pictured pizza the effect of being fresh from the oven.
A fog machine.
Fog machine.
For pizza.
Yeah, for pizza.
Were they dancing some disco in there, or what's?
They could have been.
What's going on?
Ron behind the glass is Ron in the studio, and he's
doing some stuff.
He's having conniptions.
His dinger ain't his thing ain't working right in the camera.
Are you? We're gonna need to call any medical attention.
Well, the camera isn't used to having these two big guys sitting here.
It's gonna need a wider
normally
lens.
A skinny millennial and you.
It's gonna need a wider lens.
Yes.
Let's see. The several motorists thought that what they were seeing was smoke. They called 911 to report a fire. Everybody that drives by it thinks the billboard is on fire, according to Sam Alexander Seedy of Blaine, who had called the emergency number. He said the operator told him that they'd been fielding hundreds of calls all week, which is good news for Casey's, not so much for the police or fire department. I thought it was bad advertising. It's not very good use of resources.
That sounds like great PR. If people are noticing that the billboard's on fire, you're looking at it, right?
The Mounds View Police and Fire Departments felt the same way.
Matt, we have an idea for a billboard for you.
Wow. What?
Shoot the moon.
Shoot the moon? With me
you
and
have
mooning?
to stand. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in.
That's
People will call in. Yeah.
I got a great butt.
Oh my God.
I've been told. Yeah, you know, but think about it. You've got people who are calling the fire department saying the billboard is on fire.
It's great advertising.
I think so too. Just spell my name right. Doesn't matter what's wrong. Just spell the name right.
He said the sign has been up for a few weeks. The calls have diminished as the weather has warmed up. I don't know what
the weather. So is the fog machine running out of fog?
Oh, maybe the weather's nicer, so it doesn't steam as much.
There you go.
We'll see. So eat at Casey's. Good Lord,
boy,
Ron is back in here.
He just ain't happy. I mean, Mr. Wonky-eyed El Jefe is not happy here. His camera is not in the right spot. He needs some honey.
No kidding. Needs some rubs. You want some of this rubbed on you? In New Jersey, a parent claims that a New Jersey teacher offered students extra credit in exchange for money.
For the teacher or the student?
What's wrong with that?
Yeah, I don't see a problem with this story so far.
Doesn't Ridgewood, New Jersey, after a nationwide college admissions scandal, kind of tend to rock a few people's worlds. Some of the country most rich and famous parents' New Jersey mother has stepped forward to claim a local teacher offered extra credit points to students for cash.
Where was the cash?
Well, the cash, if the students paid the teacher, they'd get better grades. Which,
if the students paid the teachers, not the other way around.
I've done so far.
There's no tucking of any bucks or any of that stuff. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. You're tucking a buck in her G-string or something.
I think she's talking 20s.
Well,
and honestly, if they're doing this, isn't this just training for the real world? I mean, this is the way the real world works. So
you're not wrong there.
Colette Tritola, a Ridgewood High School parent, stood up at this week's Board of Education meeting and expressed concern about how extra credit points were handed out by one teacher. About 6 weeks ago, extra credit given in one of my children's classes in exchange for buying a $20 ticket to a fundraiser.
Bad move.
Teacher sent a fundraising announcement to the class and encouraged the students to buy a ticket to an upcoming event for extra credit on their grade.
$20 is same as downtown. I mean,
not a bad idea.
Not a bad idea.
I don't think that there's.
My kids were money motivated. You paid your kids to do chores, right?
That's right. But what about the poor folk?
What?
The poor folk can't pay $20 to give, but why can't they have extra credit?
But what are they going to do with it anyway? They're going to end up being dirt poor living in a trailer somewhere. Whatever.
A little bowl of crystal meth or something. That'd be all right. See, they're saving. That's teachers saving lives, Ron.
Right. I mean, you got to view this from a real world lens.
Yes.
Otherwise, you're wasting your time. By the way, at the end of the announcement, it said, when you purchase your ticket, forward me your receipt so I can give you your extra credit.
Forward me your receipt.
Well, yeah. Again,
well, she's going to turn into the government or
real
the IRS?
world example.
Yes.
If you're going to get the credit, you got to. What do you have to do on an expense report every month? Is give the receipts.
Boy, that is
turn
true.
them in.
Welcome to the real world. That might be education.
That's some business education
right there. It's real world, real life.
They're not teaching kids how to balance a checkbook. Well, you don't have to do that anymore.
Did you ever do that? We had to. In school, you had home ec, right?
No, I never did. I took FFA. I was a member of the parliamentary procedure team.
Because we learned to cook. We learned to sew.
You were in the class because there were chicks in the class.
There were chicks in the class.
That's the reason.
But you also learned how to write checks, balance a budget, and do your ledger.
Now, they should still teach the balancing the budget, but the check writing is kind of pointless because you do all that online now. So
I write one check a month.
There you go.
One.
I don't even have a checkbook.
And the only reason I do that is the state of Indiana can suck. Sorry. I didn't say that out loud, did I?
There are your 5 headlines. The Pornhub boneless bathing suit, the cop who stole a car, the super honey, the steaming pizza billboard, and the extra credit teacher.
So now we get to guess?
You get to guess, but first we talk about APR coffee. Why don't you talk about APR coffee?
Oh, I've got some. What'd you make this morning?
It was Ron's sexual chocolate.
I got a little Ron's sexual chocolate in my mouth.
I may have a problem with that.
You want to talk about something good in your mouth?
Right?
Yeah. APR
Just
coffee.
saying.
I drink probably 2 pots of this a day.
It is good.
It is so.
And
I
I'm
never
not embarrassed
thought.
to say it.
I never thought I would like flavored coffee.
I never thought I'd like a little Ron in my mouth.
Well, there is that. I mean, there's a lot of Ron to put in your mouth,
right?
Yeah, just saying.
Man. Where do I go from here?
I don't know. It's a cluster bomb, but no, I mean,
straight to hell.
Yes, DM's a great guy.
Yes, he is.
Who decided he was going to make coffee.
Except for that one thing.
Yeah, that one thing he does is really, but
other than that, yeah, he's a good guy.
He's an amazing guy. He makes great coffee. If you want great coffee, if you're tired, you can drink all the other stuff and it tastes like burnt crap.
If you drink the other coffee, you're stupid.
You are stupid. Head over to APR Coffee, American Pride Roasters. It is the official coffee of MoJo 50 Radio, and it's the only thing I put in my mouth.
No, it's not.
No, that you know of.
Not.
Thank you, DM.
Let's see. All right, so you guys take a stab at which one.
All
you
right,
think is
look.
Listen.
Yes, I'm going with the bonerless bathing suit because why in the hell would Pornhub create a bonerless bathing suit?
Oh, they would. That's true. It has to be
because they
true.
have experience.
That's right. I'm going with the last story. I don't believe you'd pay a teacher money. I don't believe you can get away with that. Everything that goes on in schools.
Oh, well, we hear it in the news. You're right. Probably.
No way that's true.
Happy Owl over on Twitter thinks it's the extra credit teacher.
Yeah, me too.
Just Peachy Bonerless Trunks, fake story, me weak consensus. DM just said only one thing. Wow, I'll take it.
Thanks, DM's the best.
Let's see here. And the cop is a fake story, according to Brian Keith. By the way, loved you in A Family Affair. I mean, that was a fan. Didn't know you're still alive. But,
Jody and Buffy and
yes,
Mr. French.
Boy, it was. What
was her name? The older girl's name.
The other Twinkie Spiffy. What the hell was her name? Susie. Oh crap.
Susie. Was it Susie?
It was whatever name you wanted it to be,
what
Brad.
Was it? Buffy, Jody, and
it could have been Mercedes.
Sissy. That was it.
Sissy.
That was it. She was not the one who ended up being the drug addict, right?
Correct. I think it was Buffy.
But then I digress.
Yeah.
Here we go. All right. So the winner of $1 million, the car, and a trip to Paris is the fake story is the honey.
The honey?
Nobody got it right.
See, I could have saw the honey.
There is
I asked a lot of, seriously, because do you eat it? Do you rub it on? Do you put it in your butthole? Do you? How does it work?
If it's super honey, you can do any of those things.
Right. Look, if a bee brings it to you, I should have thought honey.
I'm glad the bonerless bathing suit was not a.
Which means it's real.
But just think about it. A bonerless bathing suit.
I'm going to get one. I have a problem.
It's
all that medication you take. The flagpole only goes to half mast. So bonerless bathing suits work perfectly. Oh, my mast is just fine. The flag goes straight to the top.
I'm really kind of. Let me see. I'm just going to.
And that's the point where the television shuts us down.
Oh well, yes.
I'm not going to. I don't think I'm going to play that. Well,
who is this?
It's a video.
Hanson?
No. This is the commercial for the bonerless bathing suit.
The bonerless bathing suit.
Oh, there's a commercial.
Is it like a Speedo? Or is it
I don't know.
Board shorts?
No, it's got to be board shorts with like a tidy whitey on the inside of it or something.
Has to be.
I don't know what it's the.
That won't allow you to have blood to your wiener?
No, because when you tuck in a tidy whitey, you just can't go anywhere.
Right.
You talk like a man with experience.
I might have
a
little bit.
You've tucked once or twice.
Well, yeah. Not in the early days. Ask my brother.
Not in my early days.
And the only reason my brother knows this is because I used to wear parachute pants really tight.
Why is that not surprising?
Because I forgot to tuck.
Why is that
I didn't know
not
to
surprising?
tuck when I was younger. And
well, you want to show the ladies what you got.
This is not the story I want to tell this morning.
Come on, Wonky. You walk through that door. You're not tucking in parachute pants.
No,
First of all,
dude,
who knows what parachute pants are other than the three of us?
Well,
see, I'm just over here engrossed in the commercial for this bonerless bathing suit.
I had parachute pants. That's kind of funny. Mine were black, zippers everywhere. I thought I was Michael Jackson. So there's that. You
thought you were Michael Jackson?
Well, he turned white eventually.
Wow.
Yeah,
how are things at the ranch?
Yeah.
Well, shh. Those records are sealed.
Uh-huh. Well, so there's a commercial for the bonerless bathing suit, and it is
glorious.
It's certainly different. It's actually catchy. You asked who it was.
I like the music. I mean, it was catchy. I saw Hanson in a parking lot in Columbus, Ohio. One year. God, I don't know how many years ago it was.
Did you get arrested?
Oh, which
No. But you remember when they did the parking lot tours?
I do.
So this was the Turtle Creek.
Unfortunately, Misty took me to every one of them down.
Oh, did she? The Turtle Creek Mall in Columbus, Ohio. I had just graduated college, and I had to go to. It was one of the JCPenney, Sears, whatever it was, to get something, and there was this big crowd in the parking lot, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? It was Hanson, and that was back when they were bopping. They were still bopping.
One of the Hansons came to the studio. What was his name?
Look, don't get me wrong. When back in the day, that was the late '90s. I liked Hanson.
Oh, that was a great song.
We saw them do an acoustic set at House of Blues in Vegas.
They were much better acoustically.
Yes.
As they got older, they were much better. Yeah.
And one of them was great kisser.
That's what I've heard. Soft hands. Soft hands.
I have a picture on Twitter of him examining my foot when I had it in the cast.
Oh, was that a euphemism?
No,
examining his foot.
I said, let's do something fun here. I said, you look at my foot like you're a doctor. So he did. We played doctor together.
Let's do
one of the Hanson
something
brothers and I.
fun here.
It was interesting.
Look at Brett. I thought you had a foot fetish, or you hated feet, or
I don't understand people who like feet. They're feet.
Yeah, they are feet.
They stink. They
got nails and stinky
and fungus and lint
callus and
they're just. What is it up with feet? I don't get it.
You don't want to put a toe in your mouth?
I didn't say I hadn't. I said I don't get it.
Oh, see, these are the stories.
I didn't say I hadn't done it. I just said I don't get it. How would I know if I get it if I hadn't done it?
Well, there you go. You're a man of experience.
Well, yeah. I mean, you got to try something at least once to know if you like it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's what she said. There it is.
There it is. Pornhub is not. I'm telling you, Pornhub is one of those companies that is. They're out there in front, which probably poor choice of words for that, but. I mean, look at what they're doing. The things that they've done, they're accepting advertising from different companies, and politicians have advertised on Pornhub.
You know what happened to Pornhub, right? So YouTube was shutting down Second Amendment gun people.
And yes.
So they were allowing gun videos on Pornhub. You could go over and it's gun porn, but you could go over, and it is smart. And they're the number 3 website in the world behind Google and YouTube.
Does not surprise me a bit.
That does not surprise me either.
I mean, think about it. They've gotten their business model in and say, hey, we'll give you anything you want. We'll give you sex. We'll give you nudity. We'll give you guns. We'll advertise bonerless.
I was going to ask how do you have sex without nudity, but then I realized I've never been on a Japanese subway, so
there is a, please stop.
There is that. Yeah. Please stop. Please stop.
Was anything blurred out?
No, he
the app. You didn't hear about the app on the Japanese subway.
No.
You get groped.
He was molested.
Molested?
Yeah.
On a Japanese subway?
Don't get molested on a Japanese subway.
Oh, that sounds...
No, there's such a problem with women being groped on the subway. They have an app that will now...
Anti-groping app.
Yeah, it's an it'll keep you from being groped.
That's right. Now, that's what the app does.
What does it do?
Not a freaking thing.
Oh, I don't say like a siren or something. Your phone starts squealing.
It says, please stop. Please stop. I said, somebody's getting screwed. Some dude reading the paper.
Yes.
Some dude reading the paper, drinking his coffee is getting screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're getting hosed, and not in the good way.
Yeah. Well,
just saying. Yeah. But yeah, the app is completely worthless. I mean, if Japanese subways, from every picture I have been on one Japanese subway. I take that back.
Don't they? They have guys standing at the doors that just cram people in.
Yes.
Oh, they do that.
They push them in while the door slides.
Oh yeah, like sardines.
It is amazing.
Get in there.
Switzerland is the same way. On their ski lifts, I remember being there, and it's usually the French. The French always wait until they are the last ones to get on, and they get on, and they like a bulldozer. They try to push it's the French.
Just shove it in there till it fits. Shove it in till it fits.
It's the French. If you go to Tar River Arms, you go to the closeout section. I thought he was going to send us this blue gun. We don't have room on the wall, do we?
We got it on the wall. We got one on the wall.
Tomorrow, the gun from TRA Guns is being given away.
Yeah.
It's going to be given away on your show.
It is. It is going to be given away.
You are special. How are you choosing the winner?
I don't know.
How's he
randomly?
That probably falls to me to choose the winner.
There's nothing rigged about it. If it goes to one of my family members, no one's ever going to know.
All bribes are accepted.
That's right.
Ron at MoJo50.com. All bribes are accepted.
We have a donate button over there.
The variation in bribes should be good.
Yeah.
It's the Smith & Wesson. It's the bodyguard, right?
Yeah, the 380 with the they got the integrated laser pointer on it. So
that's a nice little gun.
That pointer's probably a couple $100 itself.
Yeah.
That's a nice integrated laser pointer.
It is a nice gun, and it fits
green, I believe,
snugly in your hand,
in your pants.
Either way,
yeah.
They
you
say
can conceal it.
Wait a minute. Now, hang on a second. They say they only have one in stock.
Well, that's
the one.
Is that the one we're giving away?
Yeah.
Then what if I click buy right now and I buy it?
I'm sure they pulled ours off the counter.
Yeah, they pulled it off.
They pulled it off the website. Set it aside.
They slowly.
If you haven't entered yet, can you still enter?
Yes, right up till tomorrow. We're taking we are taking people's submissions all the way up to the show tomorrow.
Well,
so you've got until noon Eastern tomorrow.
See, who said we weren't fair?
Well, we're trying to be fair. I got Rocky Stucci in studio today tomorrow. I got the emotional meatball coming in. He's on a jet plane right now.
Where does he live?
Somewhere in the deep woods of Wisconsin.
Wow. He just wanted to come down here for the weather.
He's coming down for Carry the Load.
He's actually on a plane right now.
Yeah,
he's not almost already
here. He's on the ground.
He
should be on the ground right now.
Yeah.
It all works out well. Go to traguns.com, Tar River Arms. If you want to register for the gun, go to MoJo50.com. so many places, so little time. This, of course, your Daily Mojo. Don't hurt yourself getting up. Be careful. You're going to stick to the chair.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. MoJo 50.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Damage assessment is underway across tornado-ravaged areas of Missouri, raked by a series of twisters overnight. Correspondent David Lieb is in Jefferson City. He says the Missouri State Capitol was slammed late last night.
Work crews in Jefferson City right now are clearing down power lines, twisted metal, and other debris from the street using large front loaders, trucks, and bulldozers. Jefferson City police have no immediate reports of fatalities. However, they received multiple calls of injuries or people trapped in buildings.
Mike O'Connell with the Missouri Department of Public Safety. More on the situation in Jefferson City.
We know that we have 9 people hospitalized as a result of this tornado. We've had people who were trapped. Crews have gotten out people like that. They're doing secondary searches, but we do not have any known deaths.
However, a tornado did leave 3 people dead in Golden City, north of Joplin. Oklahoma also saw its share of tornado damage. The Pentagon reportedly prepared to propose deploying a lot more U.S. troops to a global hotspot.
The Defense Department is set to reveal plans to the White House aimed at sending as many as 10,000 more American troops to the Middle East in an effort to better fend off potential Iranian threats. On Tuesday, defense leaders told congressional officials that the U.S. doesn't want to go to war with Iran and wants to de-escalate the situation. But many in Congress are skeptical of the Trump administration's approach, questioning whether it's responding to significant new threats or escalating a situation that could lead to war. Matt Small, Washington.
Wall Street headed for a lower open in about a half hour. Right now, Dow futures down 226 points. S&P futures are off 23. NASDAQ futures down 77 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Never Forgotten Apparel is more than just a premium women's and men's clothing line. It's a movement to remind us to wear American-made and serve those who serve us. Our heroes. Never Forgotten Apparel gives 20% of their total sales to nonprofits that support homeless veterans and off-duty firefighters, and 50% to individual veterans and firefighters in need nationwide. Check out neverforgottenapparel.com. Use promo code MATT, M-A-T-T, and get 15% off your purchase.
Having an extra supply of food on hand is just smart. Some people call it prepping. I call it smart. You never know what's going to happen in this world. Go to mypatriotsupply.com. You'll find out a lot of good reasons to have that food and some great prices. mypatriotsupply.com.
Say what you want to say about Cortez. She's not unattractive. Whoopi Goldberg, ugly as dirt. She one ugly woman. She ugly. Whoopi is jealous.
Making radio great again. The Cartel with Matt and Ron. Weekday afternoon. MoJo 50.
Do you use the expensive blue or yellow pills to charge your sex life? Are you thinking about it? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 a pill for the other pills, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pills deliver the exact same results for less than $3. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. And right now, radio callers will get 44 blue or yellow pills for $120 with free discreet shipping. You can save more than $700 off pharmacy prices. Charge your sex life now and save a ton of money. Call now and get your 44 pills and save over $700 and qualify for free shipping. Stop overpaying and call right now.
800-218-6473. 800-218-6473. 800-218-6473. That's 800-218-6473.
This is the MoJo 50 Institute for the Advanced Application of Freedom. Ya bitches.
The mothership has landed.
All right, a quarter of men say it's one of the worst things that their date could do.
Talk.
Well, that's quite possibly up there on the list. This is This is according to YouGov. Survey of, I want to say 1,000 people, and survey said the split, by the way, down beneath women and men. The worst thing that the worst thing a date could do is take pictures of their food or drinks to post on social media.
Oh, but that's the new big thing. I don't know. Have you seen that? I was watching a news report about a month ago, and you now have bakeries, you have restaurants who are literally creating food to be taken pictures of for Instagram.
And there are plates that will block it.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's
that's big business right now.
70% of women and 69% of men say that is the worst thing you could do is be on your phone or be texting somebody else. 43% of women say that it used intentionally misleading photos in online dating profile. Number 31% chewed their food too loudly. 30% monopolized the conversation, didn't ask me any questions.
They didn't ask me. Come on.
30% of women say that the men monopolized the conversation, didn't ask any questions.
What?
And only 21. Listen, only 21% of men said that.
Because they were afraid of getting hit.
Here's the funny one: didn't offer to pay the bill.
Well, I would think that would happen more today, Brad.
25% of women say that is the worst thing you could do. Only 5% of men said that.
What happened to feminism and equality?
I was going to say, they want equality, except when it comes to
paying the bill.
But that's actually on the men there. Men still don't expect a woman to pay the bill.
I don't expect a woman to pay the bill.
I do. Why not?
That's called Brad's Dutch. Brad
Why not?
He's a Dutch oven.
Going Dutch is when you pay for yourself. Each one pays
that's
their
true.
own.
That's true. You split it.
Why wouldn't you get the woman to pay if she could pay? Why wouldn't you get her
if she invites you?
Well,
Sadie Hawkins.
I think it's based on
Sadie Hawkins. That's what I meant to say.
Did she bogart the conversation? If you bogart the conversation, you pay.
Oh, you pay, all right.
Or you just leave the bill on the table till somebody picks the damn thing up, not you.
You could you could Jello wrestle
that's when you get the alligator arms.
Yeah.
oh man, I would
T-Rex.
The dude's grabbing drinks and he's grabbing buns and stuff. And
sorry, can't do that.
Arms shortened.
16% of women say if their date was too quiet or didn't talk enough. 20% of men said that, and 9% of women said the worst thing they could do is not offering to split the bill.
So Dutch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I will tell you, I've seen in restaurants, and my wife and I eat out probably at least once a week. And it's amazing to me to go into a restaurant and watch a couple sit across the table from each other with their phones in their hand.
And not talk.
I mean, where were we at the other day? We were in No Frills, a nice little local bar in Burleson, and they've got some good wings, and they've just got this big great room. They got the bar up there, and they got this big great room of about 18 to 20 tables. And the table next to us, young guy and girl, probably mid to late 20s, phones in their hand. Not even looking at each other. Didn't say. My wife and I were there for an hour. Didn't say a word. They did not say a word to each other for over 60 minutes.
And they were blissfully happy. They were blissfully happy.
They were texting.
Probably each other.
Probably.
Maybe they were into some little weird game with each other. Who knows?
Well, I know my daughter, who is 20. I will try to call her. She won't answer the phone.
She'll text you back.
Right.
What do you want?
Right, because she's texting 6, 7, 8 other people at the same time.
It's very efficient.
She'd be like, Dad, if I talk to you, I can't text these other people.
She's right.
So she's having 7, 8 conversations at once, and I'm like, pick up the phone.
And Ron, did you hear that? Texting is the new way to communicate, not email.
I'm sorry, I was texting.
Yeah,
there it is.
Texting is the way to communicate, not email. Email is what, 30 years old now?
It's probably.
Why don't you just tie a note to a pigeon?
1994?
Why don't you just tie a note to a raven?
Tie a note to a pigeon or whatever, and send it that way. It's easier.
Send a raven.
That's a Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones ask.
He got on because I don't check my email. I don't. I mean, occasionally I'll get in there.
You never check your email.
No, occasionally I will check it, but no. I mean, if you sat down every day to check your email,
you'd be
never
like me
do anything else.
Freaking pulling your hair out.
Yeah, you would never do anything else. It says, when did email start to become popular? It is between the scene in early 90s.
There you go.
Was the year AOL, Prodigy, and CompuServe all showed up at the time, and still ISPs, internet service providers,
close to 30
would
years
give
ago.
users an email address automatically.
It was supposed to tidy things up. It's supposed to make you more efficient because, it is absolutely.
It completely destroyed your life. I was talking about this yesterday. I talked about an article. We're getting dumber. Our IQ scores are going down because technology is going up. So we're becoming lazy. We're becoming less reliant on ourselves.
How do you get to, like, if I wanted to tell you how to get to an office downtown Fort Worth,
you put it in your phone.
Yes. Here's how you get there. You open up your app and you plug in the address.
And you use your navigation. It's amazing.
You don't, and it's funny because I'll use my GPS all the time. I have it on most of the time I'm in the truck not because I want to find out where I'm going, but because I want to see if there's a wreck in the way.
Right. And Ron uses an app called Waze, which shows you all that stuff. I mean, you're right. Technology has made our life easier.
Waze is owned by Google.
But it's made us lazier. Because we were talking about this yesterday. You remember when you'd call your friends. You had to remember their phone number.
Yes.
You just didn't punch a button into your phone and say, hey, call my buddy Trent, call my buddy Jeff, call my buddy Brad. You actually had to dial the number and you had to remember it.
946-2783.
There it is.
That was my number.
There it is.
942-4209 was my friend's number.
See? But you remembered that. We had Rolodexes. Remember Rolodexes?
Boy, do I.
Yeah.
Little black books?
Yeah, little black books. Now you don't. Everything is in your phone.
Yeah.
Everything.
Which is great until the battery dies.
Yes.
And then you're screwed.
And I know a lot of people who don't charge their phones. You know people like that? They will run their phone. Their phones are always dead.
Mine's
that'd be you.
I'm at 100% now.
Actually, my phone last night for some reason didn't charge all the way, but welcome to
that means Apple wants you to get a new phone. That's what it is.
And it's not that old, which is the problem. I woke up is at 55%. My phone is never below 50%.
Did you talk about the president yesterday, his little speech in the Rose Garden?
Yes. Actually, I talked about it on my show yesterday. Then I was on WoWo for 3 hours talking about it. It was an interesting conversation because at some point, where do you draw the line as the president? You know, if you like Donald Trump or not, where do you draw the line? I mean, if you're getting ready to hold a meeting with your competitor or people you need to work with, Brad, and right before they meeting, they go on to, let's say, the local affiliate and say, you know, Matlock is the biggest prick on the earth. He deserves to go to jail, and we hate him.
Right.
Would that be a very friendly meeting?
No.
You
would not want to walk into that meeting, and that's what the president did. It was an unscheduled appearance in the Rose Garden, and he just he lambasted the Democrat after they went on. You saw Pelosi's little speech in front of the microphone.
Yep.
Oh my! I'm just going to play it because this is.
For some reason, maybe it was lack of confidence on his part that he really couldn't match the greatness of the challenge that we have.
Oh, the greatness of the challenge. You called him a dipshit. You went to the public and said that he was covering up a crime. You called him a criminal, and then you're putting him down because he kicked you out of his office.
It was stunning, she continued.
Wasn't really respectful of the reason of the Congress and the White House working together. He just took a pass, and it just makes me wonder why he did that.
You should know why he did that. You know exactly why he did that.
You don't think
she knows why he did
You don't think for a second, Brad, that this wasn't something they had planned?
Oh, of course.
In our politics now, I hate to say this, Jeremy Hansen was talking about this the other day, and he's so damn right. Politics is a horse game.
Yes,
it's so ridiculous, and it is now theatrical and sensational, and everything plays out in front of a camera every 24 hours, and it's gotten to the point where it has just turned people off.
Why anybody would want to run for public office is beyond me. Because you're opening yourself up wide for an anal exam that never stops. It never
depends
stops.
on if you like it or not. I mean, one finger or two.
I mean, they're giving him the whole fist.
Yeah,
no
kidding there.
She had more to say, and I think the most egregious is at the end.
In the event, I pray for the President of the United States.
That right there.
I heard that, and I saw that.
So disingenuous. Okay, do I know what's in her heart? No. But if you take her actions for their face value, that is so disingenuous that it's a wonder that lightning didn't strike the podium.
Well, this is the same Democrat Party who is trying to take God out of their platform.
Right.
That will say when there's a mass shooting, where's your God? But yet they're going to pray for the It's so disingenuous. It's sick.
Who was it was on Opelka's 2-minute drill this morning. Who was being sworn in? And they took,
under God or in God we trust or out of it.
Well, some people were uncomfortable with that, so we removed it.
Exactly.
And then you've got Nancy Pelosi. It's just.
Well, and I think if I had to guess, Brad, she just said it out of habit. It was something that, hey, we're going to pray for the president and his soul. Dickens Cider with a hard D says, robots have hearts too, Brad.
Do they?
Well, Nancy, I'll tell you, Nancy, you need some better denture cream. Or something because she sounds like your teeth are about ready to fly out your mouth. I'm playing a clip today. I don't know if you were listening yesterday. I was listening to Izzo last night. I was running around because Rocky's
who?
Dominic.
Oh, that guy.
That guy in Chicago. The micro penis guy. That guy. So anyway, I'm running around doing errands last night because Rocky's coming into town. We're going to have dinner with Ron and Misty and Rocky tonight at our house, and had to get some stuff. And the wife sent me to the grocery store, and I'm listening to Izzo.
Right.
And he played a clip of Nancy Pelosi talking to this young lady at some forum. And I mean, literally, she had to be 5 sheets to the wind.
I think I've heard that. Yeah,
I'm playing it today. It is unreal.
She sounds like she's losing her mind.
Either she has a really bad something, a bad Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and I don't wish that upon anybody.
No, something's going on.
She just plowed. And that ain't a good thing.
No. I think there might be something wrong with her because she is just, when she opens her mouth, it just does not, she's really struggling to find the words, and it does sound like her teeth are about to fall out.
Oh, now I read Dickens wrong. God dang it. He said, robots don't have hearts. Don't. See? And then he lambasted me. Sorry, MeWe's tough. The second chair is tough over here. I sound like Brandon now.
See?
Damn it. I'm not even a millennial.
That's why.
It's hard over here. It's hard.
That's why you get the rubber chicken. God. Just remember, keep your fingers
You guys are terrible. I talk about them, and then what do? They yell at me.
See?
My feelings they're not really hurt.
No.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know this was happening, but I think it was last night on the television. They had a live performance of All in the Family and the Jeffersons.
Oh, I heard about that.
Here is a little sample of that, and listen to Jamie Foxx.
Bunker! I'm going to say what I got to say to my brother, and I'm going to get out.
I'll gladly hold the door for you.
It's Woody Harrelson.
Him? Ever since I was a little boy, I would always beg my mother for a little brother. But we was broke, so all is live. Everyone sitting at home just think their TV just messed up.
Look at Woody. Oh, they're dying.
Everybody's losing it.
Yeah.
All we could afford was you. He's cute.
By the way, that clip was a little dark. I apologize.
Oh, the funny
thing.
And
I don't mean because of the people in it. I mean it was dark.
Isn't that show called Live Studio Audience?
Is that what it is?
I think so. Misty said something about it last night.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Live in front of a studio audience.
Live in front of a studio. And it's the guy who created both.
Norman Lear.
Yeah.
Yes, Norman Lear.
Yep. And he, so are they going to... why isn't Misty on right now?
We need an expert on this.
Why are you sitting there, Ron?
Yeah, why
Get
are you
Misty
sitting there?
here.
Come on.
So are they going to be doing other shows like this? Ask Misty.
The only ones that I know of are the Jeffersons and All in the Family.
Really? So they're not going to do any others?
Are
they going to continue to do them?
I don't know.
Why did Misty interject if she didn't have the rest of the
Right,
answers?
connect the rest of the dots.
So all she could say was it's live in front of a studio audience.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
She did tell me that Jamie Foxx broke character, and any of those live shows, we're back to the Carol Burnett time frame. I love that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, it was, but I mean, you could not today, although they just did, put on All in the Family and the Jeffersons without just getting excoriated, because they're so, especially Archie Bunker.
Well, and you think about it now. I was reading an article the other day. A lot of the shows that we grew up with would not be culturally able to be put on today. They would be ran off the TV because of political correctness.
Yeah.
I mean, All in the Family. I mean, my dad used to watch that show. That guy was a bigot, and that was the show.
Yeah, that was the idea, the premise behind the whole thing. It was so over the top. He was so anti-Semitic, and he was a bigot. He didn't like blacks. He didn't like anybody.
Well, he didn't like anybody. You're right about that.
But then, if you go to Sanford and Son, he didn't like honkies.
Yeah.
So you had both sides. But here's the difference between then and now. You could laugh at it. You could laugh at the
everybody wasn't offended.
Right. It was the over-the-top stereotype.
Yep.
That was the those people will always exist. Always. That we're never going to get rid of the a-hole racists. They will always be out there. The key is to not take them so damn seriously. I mean, of course, you get into the violence and that aspect, but you cannot ever help what's in people's hearts. Or you're never going to change that.
And I always go back to the fact of what Doc said. The only reason you're offended is because you choose to be.
Yes.
Don't choose to be offended.
Right.
Or don't watch. We've gotten to our culture where everybody wants to police your thoughts. They want to police what you watch. They want to police what you say. They want to police what you do. Just turn the channel. Yeah. If you don't like it, watch something else.
Yeah, exactly.
Period.
Don't be offended.
Yep.
Everybody gets so damn butthurt about everything.
That's the thing. The only way comedy's coming back is just like we saw on that video clip.
Well, it's the only way it can.
When it's live and people laugh and people break character and all of that.
Didn't you talk about a story the other day where someone called 911 in a comedy club?
Yeah.
Over an Islamic joke or something?
Yeah, he said the comic is on stage. He looks around and says, "Oh, there's a lot of us here," referring to some other Middle Easterners in the crowd.
Yeah.
But he said, "I meant comedians. I don't know what you people were thinking." So he made a joke out of it. And yes, somebody called 911 because they were uncomfortable.
Well, that's the society we live in.
It's just so ignorant. It's racism. Racism in action is wrong. You will never get rid of racists because inherently, I think human beings are always afraid of what they're not.
Well, you talked about it today, the REOs. Carson thought she said Oreo.
Right, yes.
And you know what he did? He took to Twitter right afterwards and a picture of Oreos, and he made fun of himself.
Yeah.
There's no self-deprecating humor anymore.
No
one can say, ha ha, you got me, or, you know, I didn't know it, or that was funny. I didn't mean Oreo, but here's a joke.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, we've left that so far behind.
He should have known what an REO was.
You know, but the funny thing is, I said this yesterday, this guy is a world-renowned neurosurgeon.
Absolutely.
I mean, he is operating on babies in the womb.
Absolutely.
I mean, you think about how smart that guy had to be to do what he does. He's running HUD.
Yes.
He's not going to know everything.
Why is he running HUD? Why did we put a surgeon in charge of housing and urban development?
I will tell you about what I know. You want smart people in places you can use them.
Sure.
That's where Trump could use him. Does he know everything about housing and urban development? Probably not. That's why he has people around him. But you're right. He should know.
He should have known what an REO was.
Yeah, you should know what things are. Don't get me wrong. You should know what your job entails and have some. But my whole point is he could actually make fun of himself. Look, it's a funny moment. And could you imagine a Democrat doing that? You're not going to see Nancy Pelosi do that, or a Schumer, or a Steny Hoyer, or a Eric Swalwell. They're not going to go make fun of themselves.
No, they have no sense of humor
at all,
and they can't laugh at themselves. And you're absolutely right. If people were able to laugh at themselves just a little bit more,
we laugh at you every day.
I'm totally fine with that.
Look how great it is.
The funny thing was this morning when I was doing a little bit with the chicken over there, and well, that sounded weird, didn't it?
You did a little bit with the chicken.
A little bit with the chicken.
Were you choking it or just patting it?
No, he was
squeezing it.
Squeezing it a little? Was it squawking?
The chicken was sitting there. I was just talking to the chicken.
Well, there's that way too.
As it was a shot from behind. Damn it. And I looked around. It's like, damn, nobody looks good from that angle. You got the waddle hanging out and everything. And I thought, yeah, screw it.
These cameras make you look fat.
I make me look fat because I'm fat. I mean, it's, you get to a point in life where you go, screw it.
Yeah, you get old enough where you just don't care.
I want another cookie.
So did we ever figure out what this box is?
Nobody said anything yet.
Aside from Russ, who said it's a
Russ
box.
said he thought it was a Dybbuk box.
I guess it's possible.
I think you hide your pot in it. I think it's got a little. I think
no, it doesn't make any.
It's a pot hider.
Okay, but it doesn't make any sense because you can't.
Well, it's got a little table. You can dice your vegetables.
Okay, but then
but you can't put anything. But if you open the lid,
right,
it goes all the way to the bottom. If you pull those drawers out,
it's one of those fancy Egyptian mummy puzzles.
Okay.
See,
I'm happy to if you can explain how it works. I'm happy to listen because
everything slides to the left.
Again, it could be little Ricky who was never supposed to be in woodshop. Little Ricky's 7th grade woodshop project. That little Ricky, that's so nice, but your drawers are stupid.
I mean, do you take these things out, put a rabbit in there, and it's like you
idea.
You slide the knives through, they do the little cut the woman in the half kind of deal.
Maybe
you cut a bunny and
so you put something in there and
slice it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Damn, actually, that's the smartest thing so far I've heard, which is really disturbing. That's what it could be.
In here, I don't. Yeah, that's really odd. It's well made. I mean, it's
got dovetail
How old do you think
joints.
that is?
Probably
40s?
1940s, 50s.
Yeah. I mean, it's well constructed.
Yeah. Somebody did a good job. Somebody spent some time on the thing. I just have no idea what they were thinking when they built it.
Who doesn't like a good box?
Right? Who doesn't like a good apple fritter?
There it is.
By the way, that's part of the reason these cameras making me look fat. Ron walks in this morning and hands me a little bag, and he says, "Here, have one of these."
QT apple fritters. Oh yeah.
Have you ever had their sugar cookies with the Nutella in the middle?
No, I don't eat sweets. You know this, right?
That's right, you don't.
But I know Ron and I, when we first started here and we're doing the cartel, we would pretty much stop the QT every morning.
Oh.
And a fritter might have found its way into Ron's mouth.
Mm-hmm. Is that what they're calling it these days?
That's what it's called these days.
Well, if you're ready to lose weight, you go to RidUZone.com, or as Matt Locke likes to say, RidUZone.
RidUZone.
There's a couple of Z's.
RidUZone in there.
S
I do
something.
spell it out, though.
Mm-hmm.
RIDUZONE.
So how do you say it?
RIDUZONE.
But how do you pronounce
RidUZone.
it? RidUZone.
Yeah, RidUZone.
Exactly.
It works. Dude, 19 pounds.
It does work.
I've kept it off. I mean, that's amazing because I'll tell you, it makes you less hungry. It has me, and now that I'm not taking it, I still here in America, our portions are way too big.
Yeah, and we sport eat.
We do. We eat just for pleasure, like sex.
Mm-hmm.
So
sometimes it's better than sex.
We just eat too much, and I'll tell you, RidUZone shrinks your stomach. It's what it did to me. I don't eat nearly the portions that I did before.
Well, and it can also speed up your metabolism because, the cruel joke of nature is the older you get, and if you exercise, it can actually slow your metabolism.
Yeah.
It's like,
well, your body's trying to hold on to that. They're trying to hold on to that fat. Stop.
That is just, talk about God having a sick sense of humor. Yeah. That right there. You mean I'm going to exercise? I'm going to work really hard?
Well, that's why Doc was running it.
Yeah.
40-something.
Uh-huh.
I can't, that age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
40 something. 49.
Yeah.
40. Although he always said 39, which was hysterical because in the first story in the paper was he appeared to be 40.
They knew.
Yeah.
But no, RidUZone works real well. And they're great folks over there.
He lost a lot of weight, actually.
Yeah.
I think at the end it was maybe a pound he weighed. But if you go to, hold on a second, that one deserved. Thank you. Thank you. I'll be here all week. Tip your waitress. Try the veal. Make sure they cook it well.
Yes.
If you go to RidUZone, is there a promo code? If there is one, it's MoJo. If there isn't one,
it's MoJo 50.
Put MoJo 50 in there anyway.
No, it's MoJo 50. 30% off.
There you go.
3-month supply.
Well, it says right there on the website. Special 30% off coupon automatically applied. 3-bottle promotion.
There it is.
Ta-da! RidUZone.com. So we'll read some of your bitchy moany complaints here coming up in a second. I'm sure that's what they're... Are they? Are they not? You're not looking at the right Maybe chat room then. I would... Really? Come on. The Daily Mojo.
High capacity, fully caliber, freedom. MoJo 50.
Do you ever wish your local, state, or federal government could just hit the reset button and begin building its laws and regulations anew? If you live in Idaho, you're getting that dream come true. Yes, the state of Idaho is hitting the reset button on its regulations come July 1st. How did it happen? It came from the interesting nature of Idaho's legislature. You see, they must reauthorize its regulatory package on an annual basis or face expiration. As April came to a close, so did the last legislative session of the fiscal year, and there was no reauthorization of said regulations. That means 8,200 pages and 736 chapters of the regulatory package will go bye-bye. It will be up to the governor to decide which of the regulations he likes and wants to keep as emergency regulations to then be considered by the legislature when it comes back in session in January. The good news for the people of Idaho, their governor, Brad Little, has already been on a kick of cutting regulations and red tape in the state government. It was a difficult task because he had the burden of proof as to why the regulation should go. Now it's turned on its head, and any regulation must pass the mustard. Clearly, there are regulations that make a whole ton of sense for public safety, workplace safety, and on. But this is a perfect opportunity for this wonderful thing called a cost-benefit analysis to take place and nonsensical regulations to go by the wayside real fast. Now, if only we had the guts to do that across the nation. Imagine a wave of states in which regulations get a spring cleaning every year. It's a refreshing thought. Experimenting with new ideas could also take place with little long-term consequences, as they could just pull the regulation off the books as part of a reauthorization package. I know it won't happen, but a guy could dream. I'm Andrew Coppins, and this has been By the Numbers. You can follow me on all the socials at The Coppins Show.
By the Numbers with Andrew Coppins is powered by TarRiverArms.com. They've revolutionized online firearm sales with high-resolution pictures, 3D imaging, and the best prices. How much will you save? Find out at TarRiverArms.com. That's TarRiverArms.com.
The Daily Mojo.
Are you saying that I was premature in saying that they were bitching about something?
You prematured. They actually have been very nice. I do not now. I do not have.
Me.
I will let you know. I do not have an invite into the What I Learned Today chat room on MeWe. Because I'm not on the show. I mean, I get it. I'm in so many damn rooms. I don't know where the hell I'm at half the time.
Right.
I mean, I love MeWe for the fact that it's completely Wild West.
Yes,
I love,
is.
And I go in there and I hang out in the DOAE room at night sometimes. I'm in the MoJo 50 radio room. I'm in some of the naughty rooms. I'm not going to give their names away. Where Titty Tuesday happens and Taco Tuesday and all that stuff. I mean, who doesn't like looking at women?
Right.
But I'm in the Bells of Liberty. I'm in the Rants of Izzo. I'm in the Donald Trump rooms. I'm in all off track. I mean, there's so many damn rooms.
Rocky with an eye says, I get to see Matlock's legs from this angle.
Yeah, she does. It's also something else you could. Oh, my bad.
Right. Well, it's the camera angle. From that angle, everything looks bigger.
That's what I tell my wife too. It's bigger. Believe me, it's bigger, baby.
That's what they all say. What are they saying on Twitter? Anything worth repeating?
No, everybody's sleeping. I think this morning everybody's getting ready for that long 3-day Memorial Day weekend. And if you're smart, like my wife did, she took Friday off, so now it's a 4-day weekend.
Yep. So I may take Monday off, make it a 5. No,
well, we're not working Monday.
Oh, we're not.
No.
So I'm taking Monday off.
You didn't read your emails.
No. See, I'm convinced and Ron does that. He sends stuff to me and he doesn't say anything.
Well, no, you know what I do, Ron?
Just to see if I read them.
I know you don't read them.
I come in here, I say, Brad, I sent you an email.
Yes.
Please go check it.
Yes, or send me a text that says I sent you.
That's what I have to do now. Send him an email, then follow it up with a text.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
And
so
that being a two-part process, that's your fault, not mine.
So Brad, so yeah, we're doing replays on Mondays, folks.
Well, then I may take off Tuesday because I gotta take something off. I mean,
aren't you taking tomorrow off, Brad?
Yeah. Shut your dirty whore mouth.
Yeah, you know what,
who's
Brad?
not
I was
taking
thinking about
off?
doing a Friday replay from Doc's time frame. What do you think?
There you go.
Yeah,
You
I'll do a Friday show from
just a
from
little
back in the day.
The best stuff. Yeah, a little best stuff. Doc
That's
Thompson.
what we'll do tomorrow, guys. There
you go.
will not be any video pushed tomorrow. It'll only be audio. I'm sorry.
Why can't you do the video?
Well, because I'm taking the damn sort of time.
There's no
sort
video
of the day
tomorrow.
off.
Yeah, there's no video tomorrow.
Well,
sort of,
you are. You're live, right?
I'm live tomorrow.
Yeah,
and
I'm
I'm
talking
at the
about
golf
during
course.
the morning mojo.
Yeah. Tomorrow's the big Warrior tent out at Colonial Country Club, and
You're going to be playing.
Well, no, I'm not going to play. We're going to go out there, and Rocky and I are going to interview some veterans for Memorial Day. We're going to have a good time. So if you guys want to tune in tomorrow, we're going to preempt the last hour of Jeremy Hansen and the first hour of Dominic Izzo. And we are going to be live at the Warrior tent on the 13th hole out at Colonial Country Club here in Fort
They
Worth.
have a 13th hole in golf? That is so unlucky.
Yeah, it is unlucky.
Why don't they call it the 12A?
Well, you know they do that. You know they do that in buildings, right? They just skip over to the 13th floor.
That's what I'm saying. Why do they have a 12th hole or a 13th hole in golf? That's crazy.
Just make two 14s, 14A and B, 14A and B, or 12A and B.
12. You have 12 and 12A, so you're shooting at the 12A hole.
Yeah, 12A hole. Yeah,
I'm just saying.
That's what I hear.
Do you watch Black Mirror?
No.
Communist.
I honestly, I don't have a lot of time between working here, doing a show, doing my other job, doing marketing. I don't get to watch a lot of television.
You really should try being independently wealthy. It is so much easier.
Nicer, I've heard.
It is.
Yes.
I mean, quite frankly, I get tired of laying around posing and just eating bonbons. It gets exhausting after a while.
You need someone to fan you with a leaf, too, and maybe spritz you
try
with a little
3.
water.
You think I can get cool being fanned from one direction? No, I need 3
you
people.
need at least 3. Hey, JR15 over on Twitter says, I am still at the I want to screw it phase of life, what I learned today. Thank you.
Oh, that's a plus.
Yeah.
Black Mirror is the season 5. It's going to be in June.
June? What? 5 seasons.
Season 5. So have you never seen Black Mirror at all?
No, but you told me about it the one time. It's like what happens in the mirror happens in real life.
No. Black Mirror is this.
That was close.
That's the Black Mirror.
The phone?
Or any device. Your laptop, when you turn it off,
Okay.
it's a black and it's a mirror. It's about technology and how technology, if we continue on the path that we're on, technology
is going to eat us.
Not necessarily. If we don't,
it's Skynet.
We don't corral it. It can be a dangerous thing.
It's going to
use it for
terminate
good
us,
or bad. Yes.
like Skynet.
Ish.
Okay.
Here, first season involves sex with a pig. That should get you.
No. I remember, who was it, Ron? Did the story of the guy who was caught having sex with the goat. Was that Gavin? I think it was Gavin. One year I remember there was a guy in England who was arrested for banging the goat in the pasture.
Right.
Yeah.
We actually had video
of the guy doing it.
Of two guys over in Saudi Arabia behind a building tagging a sheep or a goat. It was hilarious.
Well,
they had video of it.
Yeah, we did. It was it was like from the Black Hawk helicopters,
right?
With the night vision.
Pornhub. Pornhub.
It was funny. It was funny as hell.
Funny. That's one of those things I've never searched.
Well,
but
did you guys see there was a video rolling around on Facebook, and I don't get on Facebook very often anymore. But there was a video of a guy banging a tailpipe.
Oh yeah, people who are into cars. It's a
tailpipe.
Yeah,
in public. Shorts down, wiener in the tailpipe.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. At least he's not into feet.
Well, there you go. Just metal pipes.
Does the car talk back to you?
No.
The car never bitches or complains.
Well, is that what I saw
car
the other
is always waiting right there for you, right where you left it.
Well, I saw the other day too, where we're getting into all these sex dolls. Is that where we're going?
That's where Japan is going.
The thing is, our production rates, our reproductive rates are down. Men are scared to death of women. Me Too and all that. Eventually, they're just going to have sex with robots because they won't talk back.
Yes.
They won't have to sign a waiver.
Now
they can't get pregnant. I mean, that is almost like Nirvana.
Yes. Now you understand why the Japanese, who by the way have this is the same culture that has the problem with groping on the
subway. Yeah.
But the sex. I'm seeing a connection there. I don't know. They a huge problem with sex dolls in Japan. Wow. They're choosing to have relationships with a
robot, with a machine,
latex rubber.
Yeah, we're doomed
over a human being.
We're doomed.
It's quite possible. This I don't know. I haven't seen this either. Let's this is the first trailer. If you're not into Black Mirror, I'm telling you, Black Mirror is an awesome look at the future and how terrifying it could be.
Now, once more, return your attention to the breath.
Airport. Yeah? Terminal 3. Do you work in that place? Smithereen, yeah. The sat-nav showing an accident coming up. Do you mind if I follow an alternate route it's showing me?
Your mind may wander.
Jesus! Everywhere you look, people are hooked on the things!
Simply watch it go.
The chain smoking!
Calmly and without judgment.
Now, wow. This particular episode is about a driver for like an Uber or a Lyft kind of service, and he has basically an acid trip while he's driving people. And that's one of those things. Think about the fact that when we get into Ubers and Lyfts, and I get these guys are checked out, but think about how many times every day, and yeah, it happened with taxis too. We're getting into cars that people we don't know.
You know, when they told you, remember when they told you that wasn't safe to get in cars with strangers, and yeah, now we're
getting in cars with strangers.
Yeah,
no, and I'm not saying and again, this is. I think the essence of humanity is good.
Yeah,
I like to believe that.
You would think.
I mean, there's going to be a few bad apples out there, and we've seen them in Uber. The woman who who was distracted by her phone before she got in. Remember, she got into the guy's car and ended up dead. Guy killed her.
Yeah,
and he wasn't even. I don't think he was even an Uber. I think he just happened to be right there. She thinks I'm waiting on an Uber. Oh, look, there's a car. She gets in, and that's it. That's all she wrote.
Yep.
And that's the beauty of Black Mirror. It looks at they're cautionary tales. They're very
almost like warnings.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah.
So
pay attention.
You should take a little time out of your busy schedule and watch a little Black Mirror.
I'll fit it in between my porn somewhere.
Well, yeah, I bet you could
get it in that regiment.
Your bonerless bathing suit.
There you go.
And because I don't want to think about politics anymore, Game of Thrones, well, that is politics. Sophie Turner has called and you haven't watched the last episode, so you don't know how it ends.
That's all right. It ends.
Kurt Russell dies.
Yeah, that's what I actually. I'm not spoilers don't bother me. I'm going to watch it anyway.
Here's the thing about the last episode of Game of if I were you, I wouldn't watch it.
Just that good?
I would leave it. No, I would leave because you have a taste in your mouth of the penultimate episode of Game of Thrones.
Well, and I didn't think the last episode was all that good. In the White Horse deal, just weird. But
by the way, that thread goes nowhere. The White Horse, poof, gone.
Gone. I know.
But if I were you, I would just not watch the end of it. Sophie Turner has voiced her disapproval of the petition signed by over 1 million people for the reshoot of season 8, which is not going to happen. But she says that it is disrespectful to the cast and crew of the series. She discussed the harsh feedback of season 8, responded to fans who are disappointed about the show's ending, including those who signed the petition. All of these petitions and things like that, I think it's disrespectful to the crew and the writers and the filmmakers who've worked tirelessly over 10 years and for 11 months shooting that last season. Like 50-something nights shoots, so many people work so hard on it, and for people to just rubbish it because it's not what they want is just disrespectful. I don't think it's disrespectful because these people loved you for 10 years. Loved you.
Yeah.
What they didn't like, no one is dissing the work that you did. You were reading the words that were written.
You're an actress.
Right, which the words that were written for you, weren't all that great for the last few
I'm going to agree with you. I mean, the Game of Thrones, the first 3 or 4 seasons, fantastic.
They did wander off the trail a bit toward the middle.
Yeah, toward the middle, and that's where it started. Because what was it, 8 seasons?
Correct. Yeah.
So about season 4 or 5, you're right, it started to wander.
But they kind of course corrected.
Yeah, I think that's normal, though. I mean, you to stay creatively artistic all the way through and try to do it any justice, I think would be tough.
The problem is the guy, and this is what the criticism has been, is that the guys who were in charge of it, once they didn't have their own a roadmap given to them, that they didn't know where to drive.
Right.
And you know, when George R.R. Martin came out, didn't like the fact that they had kind of veered off. I mean, they drove it into a ditch at the end. Is what they did. But you take shows like Breaking Bad. 5
Never
seasons.
watched it.
Oh, really?
Nope, never watched it.
The hell do you do in your spare time?
I don't have any.
Ron, you've never seen Breaking Bad either?
I've never seen it.
Oh, no. It's a fabulous show. It is, I'm not going to explain it, but it's just a very good, again, it's a cautionary tale. And Bryan Cranston, arguably one of the, if not the best actor of our time.
I do like him. I do like him.
You won't see him. If you watch, you will not see Bryan Cranston. He completely disappears into Heisenberg and Walter White.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he plays 2 different characters on the program.
Right.
And it's just unbelievable how well it was written, how well they ended it. I mean, even the ending was good on that. Not like Dexter, which sucked.
I never watched that either.
I recommend Dexter right up until the last episode, and then although it did veer off course when Jimmy Smits came on Dexter, and it was he wanted to be a serial killer too.
Yeah,
please train me to be a serial killer. It's like it's kind of got a little weird.
The only thing I watch is Game of Thrones, and I watch Supernatural. On
I haven't
the
watched
14th
the last few
season, where we've got a few more left there.
Do
and
they
now,
do they have grandkids yet?
No, it's been a long, long time. It's actually this coming season is the last season, which any show that goes 15 seasons, that's longevity. I mean, they've made their money. But Ron, Westworld.
Is he coming back?
Yeah.
Next year.
Oh, is it? Next year.
It won't be
next
until
April.
Year. But guess who's in it? Aaron Paul, who was in Breaking Bad.
I did not know that.
Yes.
No.
I've heard it's going to be a reboot, too, really kind of a Westworld reboot because it is different characters. Well, hell, they killed everybody off.
They did at the end. I mean, spoiler alert.
Except the two women at the end.
Yeah.
And Bernard.
And Bernard. Right.
But then now they're out in the
well, they're in another world.
They're
right.
In the
real world now. They're out of the actual fake
so it's
world.
It's flipped.
Right.
The hosts are now the majority, and the guests are.
Now, I thought that was coming back sooner.
It's going to be 2020.
Is it April 2020?
I don't know if it's April, but it's
because I saw April. I wanted to say of this year, but maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, right here, 2 days ago, Westworld season premiere. Here we go. Got to look this up. See, I got time to do this over here. I love this stuff. I mean, I like when you're driving the. The boat. This is pretty good.
I sat over there. Life was great.
Yeah, this is pretty good over here. I can browse the internet, talk about stuff.
Sit over here, and all you do is work.
You're right. HBO has only promised the Westworld season 3 will sometime in 2020.
Yeah.
So we got another year.
Because they, I guess they had to work around a bunch of
schedules. Another program. Ron got me. Well, I was living with Ron when I came down here in October 17, and he told me about Westworld, and I'm like, oh, that's crazy. He got me hooked on it. And I'll tell you, what a great show. What a great... I like.
Yeah, it's not like the old movie Westworld.
Right.
No. It's the same premise.
Right.
Man.
Yeah, if you go back and watch the movie, it's really, really corny.
It is.
It's really corny. It does not. The concept holds up. That movie, not so much. It's
with the exception of Death Wish, wasn't all 70s movies corny?
Yeah,
well,
even I will say that because I went back and watched it.
By
Dirty
today's
Harry.
standards, I guess.
Yeah, Dirty Harry kind of withstands, but there are parts of it you're like, it's a little 70s schlocky. But Westworld, fabulous. You would feel, I think, the same way about Breaking Bad because it's an edge of the seat thrill ride.
Right.
You don't know what's coming around the next corner, and it's one of those shows that, and the sequel to it, or actually which is a prequel, Better Call Saul, which they took the least likely character in Breaking Bad, the least likely character you'd think would deserve a show,
right,
and built a show around him, and it is phenomenal.
There you go.
And so, it's coming up on its the end of it's probably going to be a 5-year run.
Yeah.
So Breaking Bad started almost 10 years ago.
Really?
Time is just
when you get older, it does. I mean, that's the thing. I'll be 45 this year, and I swear to you, the years keep going quicker, and we're almost into June. This year is half over. It's unbelievable how fast things go.
That's why I keep telling Ron every day we get to Friday, it's hey, we've wished another week of our lives away.
Exactly. And
I'm not sure. I'm not that anxious to reach the finish line.
Well, we all reach the same finish line,
right?
Just
That's
isn't
the
most
great
of them aren't
equalizer.
in front of Amtrak trains.
Right.
That's what I've heard.
Never jogged there.
No.
By the way,
Jog.
It's bad for you.
Yeah, I heard that.
It is not going to be an Arya Stark sequel. That will not happen. The HBO, actually kind of a buzzkill. The guy from HBO is like, the quote was, shows have to come to an end. This was 8 seasons. It's a great epic, and shows have to come to a close. It's part of the TV life cycle. Thank you, Captain Obvious.
No shit, Sherlock.
I thought they were doing a prequel, though.
They are doing a prequel.
They are.
But
is that with like the Children of the Forest or something like that?
Maybe.
Going to start?
Because
like
it takes place like 1,000 years before.
Yeah.
But like Mr. Mansplaining here.
Yeah.
Yes, we all know that shows have a life cycle.
Sure.
We get that. You don't have to tell us that. The fact that people want and watch, I'll bet you $20 right now that they do come out with an Arya Stark sequel.
Well, you know, were you a little bit? I was a little bit put off by the fact that they had Arya and like the second or third last one have sex. I was just put off by that. I don't think it was a necessary. Well, I've come to womanhood and now I'm not this little girl anymore, and I've had my flower deflowered.
Well. Although it's the
it
whole,
was I want to do this before I die.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've all had that. If you were going to die next week, what are the things you would do? And I mean, I would imagine that's what ended up in the writers' room. It's like, okay, she knows she's going to die. What does she want to do?
Right.
I mean, there is no Disneyland.
Well, no, well, unless you got your Starbucks cup,
right?
You could take it there with you, or your Aquafina.
There's that. So I think it was probably what would a girl, or what would anybody at that age back then want to do? And that was really kind of the old. I mean. What else would there be on the bucket list back then?
I don't understand what these little hand gestures are on MeWe, but I said something that I'm pretty sure Just Peachy doesn't like.
Well, that happens.
It's pointing at my name, and I'm probably giving spoilers to something that made. I'm sorry if I made you mad. Sorry. I don't know what I said, but I say a lot of words.
She's a woman.
We
make them all mad.
Exactly.
Anyway,
I did get the link for the MeWe group for what I learned today, so thank you. I did get that.
Now you can feel like you're a part
of that. So I'm in there now. I'm in there. That's not real nice.
That's what matters. That's what matters. There was something else I was going to tell you. What the hell was it?
Oh, Leprechaun put his bell count in. I see the bell count, but that's not time yet.
No, it's not.
That's not time yet.
Was it? No, I don't remember what it is. What do you want to talk about?
Oh, I don't know. It's Memorial Day. What are you doing? What are you doing over? You got any big plans?
Yes.
What are you doing?
Can't tell you.
Secret?
No, actually, I got literally what I'm doing tomorrow is catching up on stuff I haven't been able to do because I can't seem to scrape together the minutes and time. I
hear you.
The give a shit.
the motivation.
The things I have to do. I just haven't had a chance to do them.
Yeah.
And so, it's like, it's not that I'm going to, I mean, I do lounge around eating bonbons every day. So, but that's not what I'm doing tomorrow.
We see that.
Right. Yeah. It's fairly obvious.
It's nice every now and then. I will say one thing. We all work really hard here. We put these shows on. It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of one guy.
Yeah, the one guy. But it's nice every now and again to get a day to unplug. But, Memorial Day is pretty cool. I mean, I'm going to have Rocky in studio here in about an hour. So we're gonna get the old cartel back together. Rocky's down here in Dallas-Fort Worth. So let's plug this. CarryTheLoad.org.
Yep.
Great veterans charity. Has their annual Carry the Load walk from Seattle, from Washington, D.C. And now this year, they started a third leg from Minneapolis, Minnesota. So Rocky is the ambassador for the third leg of this Carry the Load walk. So they are ending the walk on Monday, Memorial Day, at Revachon Park in Dallas. And they have, I'll tell you, it's a great deal. I'll probably be down there. It's a great deal. A bunch of veterans. Ron's been down there. Rocky was down there with us a couple years back. The stories are truly amazing. I mean, we talked to a gentleman, and I remember this story. It has stuck in my mind, and I'll probably never forget it. The guy had both of his legs blown off by a roadside bomb. Right. He was in a Humvee with 3 other guys.
Right.
It killed all the other guys. He lived. And so now he has 2 prosthetic legs, and he walked 40 miles for the Carry the Load deal for his brothers. And we had this fantastic interview with him.
And then walks up to us and goes, "Hey guys, can I have your picture?"
Yeah, craziest thing ever.
And we're like,
we're stunned.
Can we have a picture with you?
Yeah, no kidding. We don't even, let's have a picture with, but he told us his story. And the thing that hit me the most was that he was trying to find an outlet for his guilt because he was the only one that lived.
Yes, survivor's guilt. Yeah,
he was the only one that made it out of the roadside bomb, and you could tell it in his story. And he, I've never been in the military, but I'm sure there's a bond that is created among men
absolutely.
Think about, they protect each other. There's Stucci right now. Look at that, some ambitious walked in.
Look at that.
There is a bond when you are willing to put your life on the line for someone else. And when he told us,
absolutely. You go through
near
death.
Come and give a group hug or what?
Well, we got a show we're doing here.
How you freaking
if you
doing?
give us about 6 minutes, I'll come pinch your butt cheek. because that's how the Italians roll.
Rocky, you're gonna need the Japanese app.
Yeah.
Just saying.
So just to finish that story, there are thousands of guys like that gentleman who selfless, who walk 40 miles on prosthetic legs for their buddies, and then want their picture with you. I mean, we were blown away. And so if you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, get down there on Sunday or Monday. They've got live music. They've got tents. They've got vendors. People are rolling around down there. You know, people are talking. It's a really great event. It's a great organization. And if you can, do so.
Well, that's a good idea.
Do so.
Speaking of near-death experiences and, near-death experiences, Gwen Rich faced... well, she still is. Well, we still all are. Yeah. But the whole breast cancer thing Gwen has gone through, she continues to go through between breast cancer, the broken neck, and Adam. It's like the 1-2-3 punch. But that's what the Rich Solution is all about. It's her legacy. It's what she has. It's what she wants to be remembered for when she eventually goes away. I mean, we're all eventually going away, aren't we? I may, you know what? I know I don't want to live forever. But if you go to therichsolution.com, you'll find her purses, you'll find her story, you'll find her book, and you'll find the supplements. You'll find her show every day Monday, Wednesday, Friday. See, you can teach an old dog new tricks. Me being the old dog, not her. Over on Spoonie Radio. Go to therichsolution.com and find out why you need these. By the way,
what BTW? Well, he's got to get him some addigens in there. Oh, just suck on that. Just suck on it, baby.
Did it drip? Did it just drip on me?
Yep. You didn't suck on it hard enough.
This stuff is sticking too.
He's not a swallower. He spitter. Well, spitter right there. Couldn't keep it all in his mouth.
I say we just wrap this up now.
What do you mean it's let's go?
That is it, ladies and gentlemen. The end of Doc Thompson's Daily Mojo. Before we go, as always, we find out what we learned. We learned that it's true. Bonerless swim trunks are real. And they ain't cheap. I think it's almost worth it just to stand there and take the heat.
And I learned it's hard to play with your chicken in them.
Is it?
That's what I've heard.
Is it hard to play with your chicken?
That's what I've heard.
The chicken did do a fabulous job, by the way, today. Oh, we also learned, by the way, do not stand next to Nancy Pelosi at the podium because I'm telling you, lightning is going to strike.
Now.
Did you learn anything in your short time over here?
What I learned is that I like number 2C. It's not as hard as it normally could be.
Thank you.
Everybody yells at you, but you get to talk and browse the internet.
See? And you can become intimately aware of what's going on Pornhub.
That's what I've heard.
Or in the MeWe chat room.
Hell, I bought 2 guns while I was over here and watched some pornography.
See? I'm telling you, that's not a bad seat to sit in. Did the jackholes learn anything?
Well, I learned that Rocky with an eye likes looking at my legs from this angle. That's a good thing.
Yeah, no accounting for taste.
Well, I have great legs.
That's what I've heard.
That's what I've heard, too.
Anybody else learn anything?
I don't know. Let me see. I'm in the room here.
That's part of the job over there
my
to figure
bad.
out what they learned.
Okay, so what I learned today, you don't want to whip out your governor all willy-nilly. Backyard cows.
Thank you.
Let's see here. What I learned, taking the initiative to bribe teachers directly would save parents thousands in cash and legal fees. Just saying. There it is.
See, that's
Sir Rat Bastard says that.
That is some common sense finally from the jackholes in the chat room.
Kurt Slightly Venomous Jackhole says, what I learned today, hot pie with Mounds View is one of the chapters in the Kama Sutra.
It is, you know what? After you hit 45, though, it's very hard to get into that position.
That's what they say.
That's when you need the bonerless swim trunks. See? It all comes full circle.
Yes, it does.
If you just let it. By the way, DMXDM just said, Dirty Harry totally holds up, and those movies came out before I was born. First of all, shut your dirty whore mouth. And secondly, I'm not talking out of my butt. I'm trying to remember the last one I saw.
Full of hot air.
It wasn't bad. The one with David Soul, who's the crooked cop. And he rides his motorcycle into the river, and Kurt Russell dies in the end.
Yes, that's what I've heard.
Yeah,
that's what I've learned today.
All right, so
Kurt Russell always dies.
Yeah, he does die in the end.
You want the bell count?
Yes, actually, I would.
What I learned today: the bell count for today's show: 5 missed innuendo bells, 40 actual bells, 11 horns, no rubber chickens, and 4 rim shots.
How did we not miss a rubber chicken?
I don't know. It says 11 horns and...
I don't know. I don't remember the horns.
0
Maybe
rubber
it was the rubber
chickens.
chicken.
Thank you, Leprechaun 420. Thank you so much.
Did he not record it today? Was he lazy too?
Must have been.
See what happens when you put your thumb in the chicken's mouth?
That's a euphemism for something.
It really, I mean
when you put your thumb in the chicken's mouth.
Just, that's how you keep from getting pregnant.
I'm glad I could ride along in the number 2 Brad Stagg's chair.
Thank you for being here. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
We'll get to those new numbers on procrastination when Doc returns from his Florida vacation. You'll be amazed at how much weight he's lost. I'm serious. Your Daily Mojo, in the meantime, is a Ron Phillips production. Wherever you go, whatever you do, live by the 5 rules. You've got a shot of being right and being happy. Good night, Doc Thompson. Wherever you are. See ya.